Okay, folks, welcome to the Kevin Holly Show.
How do I stop it?
Viewer discretion is advised.
You are listening to the Kevin Holly Show.
The Kevin Holly Show. The Kevin Holly Show. The Kevin Holly Show. Kevin Holly.
Welcome to the Kevin Holly Show.
You are listening to the Kevin Holly Show.
I'm strictly pickly.
Come on,
If you're fucking, you're listening to the Kevin Holly Show.
You are listening to the Kevin Holly Show. And Kevin Holly and everyone else.
You're listening to the Kevin Holly Show. Why? Because your mother told you not to. Turn the freaking volume up, you monkey.
You are listening to my best friends on the Kevin Holly Show.
You are listening to the Kevin Holly Show.
The thrill of victory. And the agony of defeat.
We need some milk.
It's worse than throwing cats in the river. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Come on,
If you're fucking, you're listening to the Kevin Holly Show.
You're listening to the Kevin Holly Show.
My name is Morgan Freeman, and you're listening to the Kevin Holly Show.
You got the two brothers coming at me.
And it's not going to you, Kevin. Do you know why? Because you're a cunt.
Come on,
If you're fucking, you're listening to the Kevin Holly Show.
Trying to call the Kevin Holly Show. Hello, nobody's answering. Muy bien, como va? Well, I tried to call you, Kevin, and, you didn't pick up the phone. So, I guess nobody's listening. Nobody cares. That's right. Nobody cares. Anyways, call me back, Kevin. Hello.
You are listening to the Kevin Holly Show.
Come on,
If you're fucking, you're listening to the Kevin Holly Show.
This radio person is the whole problem. Are we going to allow this guy to be heard by anyone who can turn a dial?
I've got a pirate radio station. Nobody knows who he is.
You out there? You listening?
Hello, motherfucker.
Wow, hello everybody, and welcome to the Kevin Holly Show. Wow, I'm so excited tonight, Pat. Pat Shit Crazy in the house. What's up, man?
It's Pat Shat.
Pat Shat Crazy tonight.
It's the scientific version.
The scientific version. Did you take your shoes off?
No, but I was going to clip my nails a little bit later in a Nancy Pelosi gag thing that I had. But we'll save that for later.
Are you wearing?
Maybe the third hour when everybody's gone to sleep.
It smells like a mixture of like Axe body spray and your feet, dude. Like a gym locker room, you know. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Kevin Holly. Welcome. Nice to meet you. And with me is my favorite co-host, or well, the only one tonight.
The only one.
Pat Shit Crazy. Pat Berge, the victim of the swamp.com, right? The victim, or just what?
The shadow net.
Oh, whoa. That early? We're gonna say that, dude?
Oh, you're so off on that.
I'm not off on it at all, dude. I wasn't expecting it that soon.
I was doing the finger point.
I know, you don't have to.
You know, we should do like baseball signals to cue things like that.
signs, like if I put my hand in my crotch and like give you a middle finger.
That means I'm looking at getting to second base. I think,
well, that could trigger my baby maker, dude. I don't know if I want. So anyway, it's victimoftheswamp.com. Mm-hmm. Buy the book, and it has a lot to do with what again?
The shadow.
Yeah. Oh, I'm back.
You will get a ShadowNet update in the second hour.
I can't wait for that, dude. We had the State of the Union last night. I know Pat's got a lot to talk about with that. We'll make it a lot of fun. We've also got a special guest on his way. He's running a little bit late. There's some traffic. Understood.
I think he's heading in the opposite direction if he knows what's good for him.
We've got Victor Lima coming in tonight. Good old Vic, man. Beanie hat wearing Vic coming in tonight. I hope he's wearing a beanie. That'll be great.
Is he Jewish?
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Is it like one of those beanie hats?
I don't know. It's not. No, it's not. I'm not sure.
Because I'm totally fine with that.
Welcome to the chat room, Rob Haas. Trucker Rob, everybody in the chat room. Guess who was first? Pat, guess who was first? Guess who was first in the chat room, Pat? Come on. Come on.
Trucker Rob?
Nope. Guess again. Who's in the chat room first?
Nitwit?
You got it, dude.
Nice.
Yes.
The only question that I got right before Nitwit. Although he probably got that one right.
Well, you can't ask him that question because it's him. You know what I mean?
And technically, he would have that.
I suppose you're right. Yeah. So we do have a chat room available. If you're listening to us on Spreaker.com/The Kevin Holly Show or KevinHollyShow.com, we do have a chat room available. Join us in the chat room. That is our elite listeners, and we will interact with you throughout the entire show. The 3 hours, we're going to be on live till 11 p.m.
We have a naked version on YouTube that you can pay like $28 a month for.
That would be cool. We'd get on that, Pat.
That's why we no longer broadcast like on Facebook for free. We're just doing live comedy, naked comedy on adult porn sites.
Okay. Hashtag TKHS. Yeah.
Hashtag TKHS.
I mean, Rob was a trucker.
It's
Rob was
such a dirty thing now, isn't it?
There's nothing dirty about that, Pat. It's natural.
It's like right up there with hashtag Me Too, hashtag TKHS.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the same thing. It's like getting Holly Weinstein.
The Canadians love us.
They do. You know where else they love us?
There's only one thing better for a Canadian in comedy, and that's the comedy guys doing it naked.
They love us in the UK, Pat. Did you know that?
Oh, my God, those Tory bastards.
I don't think
Are they still listening to us?
Yeah.
I'm watching them.
That's morning right there, right now.
I'm watching.
We're out there in the Wigan Borough,
GCHQ.
outside of London. Yeah. I know. Dial 999, right? If you have a
They've been going through some stuff, though, and I give them credit for what they're doing.
Well, we are live on the WBRFM.com out there in the UK. The Woburfam, I like to call it the Woburfam. Yeah, so check us out there. Also, special thanks to...
It's translated into British.
That's how they say it. Yeah.
I don't know how they do that.
Hello, Governor. Welcome to the Kevin Holly Show, Governor. Something like that.
Wouldn't it be funny if we listened to ourselves out there and it was Kevin and Pat talking and they had digitally introduced a British accent?
You almost said implanted.
Sure.
They could implant us.
Digitally implanted a British accent into our videos.
Hello,
They're doing
Governor.
all sorts of stuff like that now.
It's the bloody UK, Governor. Look at Trucker Rob in the chat room, already lighting it up, man. Hold on.
Trucker Rob. Trucker Rob.
Oh, yeah.
Trucker Rob. Trucker Rob.
What?
Trucker Rob. Drive a truck. Trucker Rob. Driving trucks is all he wants to do. Drive a truck. Trucker Rob. Driving trucks because he loves you.
He does love you. He loves all of us. Anyway. So,
just don't do that DNA test, Rob.
23 and hashtag me too. Hashtag 23 me too. We're related. Did you know Trucker Rob and I are both Cherokee Indian? Like 1/20th of a percentage. Nice. Yeah, we're like brothers. It's weird. But yeah. I kind of want to thank Trucker Rob. He's been doing a lot for the show, like promoting us and stuff like that. He's got new listeners listening to us. That's a hell of a listener, man. Trucker Rob's been with us for a long time. I stole him from the Glick show. I mean, he was a Glick guy, and I was interacting with him in Glick's chat room back when the Glick show was cool, back in the vape and chill days. Now, not so much. I'm just kidding, Glick. I mean, he's our chat room monitor, and he's not there. So,
is there heat between him and Glick now?
There's always been heat between Trucker Rob and Chris Glick. Yeah, the kind of heat that triggers the baby maker, if you know what I'm saying.
Was there any heat between you and Glick? Like with the sharing of Rob?
Yeah, Glick was like, I'm out. Because I said, Trucker Rob, I would like you to be a part of our show. Be a weekly caller, call in, give us traffic reports, traffic and weather together with Trucker Rob. Hey, all right.
And guys are very competitive, right?
Yeah.
So even over the dumbest things, no offense, Rob, they will they will fight to the end.
Yeah, like
because
dogs.
They're men, and they're so
pigs, like pigs.
I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, I could as well. But moving forward, because that's what we do. We always move forward. I would like to thank our friends in Boston, Fackin Baston, right? And Pam Fackin Habba.
Are we translated in Boston?
We are. We are. And I'm really proud of it because, I can't stand the Boston accent. Like, it makes the hair on my neck stand up. And I got a lot of hair on my neck, dude. But Fackin Kevin Holly Fackin show and Fackin Pam Habba. Go to Snappers, check them out, whatever. I don't go to Snappers. I don't perform there. I've been there. But you know who's there tonight? Or all week, I believe. I think it starts tonight. Louis C.K.
Wow.
4 sold-out shows in a row through Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't even advertise it, announce it, just bam, there it is.
His name was in the news again a couple days ago.
Yeah, he made some comments about the Parkland kids. Yeah, I don't even want to get into it.
And I'm actually very good friends with, not very good friends.
One of the dads, right?
I know, I've met and know Andrew Pollack.
Yeah,
and I think it's Andrew Pollack who made that statement, although I so briefly scanned over it, I never figured it out, but I wouldn't have even thought about it if you hadn't mentioned Louis C.K., but yeah. Do you have any idea what the deal was with that?
Well, it made headlines because part of the stand-up that Louis C.K. had done in a different city was a Parkland Kids bit, and it was, I don't know how I feel about it. It's very polarizing, you know what I mean? But he said something along the lines of, just because you were in a school that got shot at, doesn't mean that we all have to listen to you, or something along those lines. And it was pretty crass.
I would argue that's the greatest reason to listen to someone.
Maybe. So it could go either way. But it's Louis C.K. It is what it is. I don't know the guy, but I bet his stand-up is great because he's been doing these tours all around the country without announcing them and selling out comedy clubs. The pretty big ones like Snappers or Coconuts or the Improv or, the Side Splitters, whatever he's doing. So I think, personally, in my own head, that he's doing it 30 minutes at a time to perfect what I believe is going to become like an hour-long special. And it's important to do it.
He's doing it for publicity. Yeah. But there have been points, and you know this, and I'm very I'll say about anything, but there are certain things I won't say. Remember when we got into the thing about making a wager or something after the hurricane? I said, I'm not participating in that.
I do. I remember.
There are certain things you don't joke about, right? You guys can joke about it. Louis C.K. can joke about it. I would understand, though, that something like that, perhaps because I have met Mr. Pollack, but even if I hadn't, something like that would have been a red line for me. Right?
Sure.
And
there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people say anything goes with comedy. You can, under the guise of comedy, say anything you want.
And I have.
Sure. But at the same rate, you have to understand that what the words that you say on a stage or on a platform, whether it's a radio show, a TV show, a stage in front of people, it's going to resonate to the people listening, and it's going to polarize the crowd. Especially when you involve them directly. Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
so,
sure. Yeah.
You're going to touch a nerve right there that, boy, if you're that dumb to touch that nerve, I grew up on a farm. And
do you have to be dumb, though, to
we
touch
had an
that nerve?
electric fence on our farm that would put like a heck amount of, just a dizzying amount of volts through your hand if you touched it.
What about if you peed on it?
And you saw it, and you just knew, peeing on it would just be frighteningly painful, right?
Yeah.
So you see it. It's there. You don't touch it because it will hurt you. Touching on anything like that with a very sensitive tragedy, when children were killed in a tragedy, you don't joke about that. I'm sorry.
Like what?
But I get it. This is America. I fought for people's right to say whatever the fuck they want to say.
True.
Short of screaming fire but if you're dumb enough to touch that, to piss on that electric wire that's pretty clear and open, I'm gonna laugh my ass off when it shocks the shit out of you.
Yeah,
that's my right.
And if Louis C.K. pees on that electric fence, it's probably because he's masturbating into a plant next to it and accidentally, you know what I mean?
And I'm going to laugh. I'm not going to feel sorry for him. I'm going to be like, dude, you totally saw that. Why would you ever piss on that?
Can I be honest with you for a moment?
Yes. Are you getting excited by...
No, I want to ask you something. Would it be okay if I masturbated into that flower pot right there while we do the show?
I just assumed you've already done that.
All right, well, cool. Then we're good. Never mind. Just forget I said it.
It had a new shine to it, and all the bugs had died. And some leaf mites that were no longer there.
There's scabies.
They got taken over by whatever herpes fucking shot.
Come on, man.
Speaking of that, have you made any progress with hooking me up?
Nope, don't even bring it up. Nope.
Speaking of
negative, Pat. Listen, I understand that, she's a...
I was looking for the right opening to broach that.
No, you really weren't, man. I mean, that wasn't the right opening, Pat.
Shooting herpes onto your tree.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear. Pat, how do I turn the stupid...
Pat, no. Attention, Big Tower residents and listeners of the Kevin Holly Show. There will be no hooking up with Pat and my girlfriend's mom at all, ever. Thank you.
Sorry, Pat.
He's just kidding.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to call you Dad.
He knows it's
That's all.
fate.
I just don't want to call you Dad.
Tell her the RV story.
Okay, wow, fine, Pat, sure. Is now a good time?
Tell him the RV story.
I'm still not done with opening the show.
Well,
okay?
You don't open the show usually till 20, 30 minutes.
I know. We're at 17 minutes.
I got a couple minutes.
Keep your eye on the clock.
Exactly, right? So I contact Kevin with this brilliant idea I had of installing Tesla home battery things into an RV. And I didn't even know this.
Don't even say it.
Girlfriend, I won't say it, but she's an RV enthusiast.
Well, more of a coach, I don't know. Wait, we can't talk about this, Pat. I don't even want to.
I'm not talking about it.
Just because you have a cool idea to innovate the industry, fate. Guess what? I'm going to be the blockade of fate, what you think is fate. Just because you have a cool idea to put Tesla batteries in an RV and make it like you can travel and never have to buy power. I get it. It's a great idea. However, it's not going to happen, Pat.
It was just so wild how that worked out. And it was like, oh, she does. Oh, my God. Right?
Man, you're killing me tonight, Pat.
I think that wouldn't be who I think it is it?
What do you mean?
Are we in trouble?
No, we're
you
fine.
You just got a text message.
No, that's Doug Bailey from Slingshot Robot.
Is that your mom?
Shots for bots. Slingshot Robot in the house. People are having a hard time getting into the chat room for some reason. I've got a full chat that's happening right here. We got Haas, we got Nitwit. I'm in there. I don't know. Kevin Holly
Stay
Show.
out of there because it contributes to the decay of our society.
No, I don't think it does. I think it contributes to the show.
Well, it depends. Is Stan in there yet?
Not yet, no. If you go to KevinHollyShow.com
it certainly does.
or Spreaker.com/The Kevin Holly Show, there's a chat room. Just click that little cloud like you're thinking, like you're talking, whatever. It should work.
Is that what that little cloud's for?
I think so, yeah. So anyway,
why wouldn't it have people?
I want to also throw out, I have to do these things, Pat, and I'm 19 minutes late. WBRFM, of course, our friends in the UK.
We've thanked them already.
GAG 109 FM in Boston. Also, our newest affiliate, 24.7, The Stream. 24/7 this stream out of Naperville, Chicago.
Could you detect them if they were leaking?
If they were leaking, I could detect their stream. Absolutely. Shots for bots, and I would thank you. Also, our best affiliate, our loyalty, and the family, if you will, IRNbroadcast.com, the Internet Radio Network. Get the app. Go to your Google Play Store. Download the app. For you iPhone people, I don't know if they have an app for you guys because, it's just iPhone stuff. I don't know. But,
it's all just tracking your information anyway. Kevin gave up a full facial recognition profile to the Chinese today.
I did, man.
Don't
I got
listen
suckered.
to them.
I got suckered, man, but it's okay.
They're all building up profiles, and they're going to... It's all going to be over for us.
I'm fine with that, dude, because I got cheap eyeglasses out of the deal.
Kevin's like, I know he's joking. It's a comedy show.
You're joking?
But, what he did kind of sort of makes me a bit concerned.
Oh, dude.
If we couldn't laugh, we'd have to cry, right?
Well, I hope nobody cries during the show. We'll save this part for when Vic gets here. But, okay, so also... MarijuanaGolf.com, our sponsor, proudly serving the medicated golfing community out there in Chicago. Go to MarijuanaGolf.com.
The medicated golfing community?
Yeah, there's a lot of medicated golfers in Chicago. All over the world, Pat. It's a worldwide company, Pat. Go to the World Wide Webs. It's a series of tubes. You know a lot about trucks, Pat.
Par 420.
Par 420. I never heard that. That's good, man. Welcome back to the show, Pat. You're crazy. Now, go to marijuanagolf.com, type in The Kevin Holly Show, all one word, in the checkout box, the promo box at checkout, and get $10 off a beautiful, breathable golf polo in your favorite size with the Marijuana Golf logo on it. You can also get balls, tees, hats, all kinds of good stuff.
If you tell them Kevin Holly sent you, they'll send you like a half ounce of weed. I believe it's
they will
Kush.
not. No, I don't think so.
Really?
No, I am not affiliated with any weed anything except for our show sponsor.
There's no FCC thing here.
No, but I don't do the marijuanas, Pat. You know that.
Look me in the eye. Look me in the eye. They were sending it to
you. Look me in the eye.
Uh-huh.
And
which one? They're so red I can't see. Oh, you were supposed to. Oh, yes. No, you would
seriously,
never.
Look me in the eyes. And let me masturbate into this plant for you.
Nice.
In a world, go where no man has gone before.
Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm excited about tonight. We have a special guest in Route. Coming up 19 in beautiful downtown Newport Richey to the Dump Tower facility, the Kevin Holly Show studios. I cannot wait to meet Vic Lima. He's a concert promoter, a band promoter, an all-around music guy.
He might be Jewish.
I don't know if he is or not.
He wears a beanie.
I don't think that's the same kind of beanie. I hope he is, man. I like diversity.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Absolutely. I hope he's Black, Jewish, Mexican, Buddhist. That would be fantastic.
Trust me, I don't want another Israeli hit squad after me.
Why
I'm
are
not
you
trying to offend the Jewish people?
Why are you being so condescending right now to me?
Condescending?
You're talking down to me.
It's kind of like
very politely.
Passive sarcasm.
Yeah, stop condescending me, dude. Being condescending to me. That's just ridiculous. Where's my hat? Mahatma. Sorry, I'll see myself out. Anyway, we got a lot of things going on tonight. The second hour is going to be all about you, Pat. I'm gonna give you the reins for the second hour of the program. I'm gonna let you just steer the ship, and I'll be your first mate.
All right.
Well, I'm pretty sure you've probably gone that way before, so I might not be your first mate, but I'll be your mate.
Will this be an extra charge on the porn site?
I don't think there's any charge on the
just porn site.
The what?
For the naked broadcast we're doing right now.
Oh, naked broadcast?
Is there going to be like an extra $10?
Why is it going to be broadcast, Pat?
Is there going to be the Shadow Net edition second hour going to be
really, dude? Come on, it's 2019.
Going to be an extra like $10 or so?
Nah, I think it's free. Pretty sure it's free. I mean, I don't want to charge for...
Kevin will send you a bag of weed.
No, I will not. But I've said this before, and anybody that wants to, listen, hit me up on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. It's all at Kevin Holly Show 4, the number 4. Slide in my DMs, whatever, and request a specific pose. I will take a picture, print it, frame it, and autograph it, and send it to you free of charge. If you want to make a donation to the show or to our favorite cause, we will do that as well. Pat, we need to pick a favorite cause. Should it be veteran-based since you're a veteran and you're very involved with PTSD and veterans and healthcare and stuff like that?
There's actually a great veterans alternative. It's a really good alternative PTSD place right over here in Tarpon.
Okay. Well, we'll put that together.
I sold the guy a van. Well, I helped.
Really?
Yeah.
A van? A van go or just a van?
A van that goes.
And there's a river in Tarpon Springs, the Anclote River. Yeah. So is it technically a van down by the river?
A van going down by the river.
Sunday.
Is it a monster van?
It'll knock your socks off.
Are we going to talk RVs now? I would love to
No,
talk
never
everything.
again. No.
Can we do the whole first hour on RV just greatness?
Well, I got
Trucker Rob. I got freaking Trucker Rob into this. He'll love it.
I got my first request for a photo from Nitwit TV. Nitwit.tv, by the way. My friend Kirk out there. Thursday nights, about 9 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central, on the IRN, ironbroadcast.com, or nitwit.tv. Check that out. That is an awesome program. He says he wants a Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs pose, please. No problem.
I was going to say,
I'll tuck it in.
The chip is too small to really zoom in with a macro lens.
No, I'll tuck it in. It's fine. I got this, man.
Tuck it in.
I'll do it right now. Here, grab your phone camera. For real.
Mm-hmm.
No? Later? We'll use a poop camera.
What's that?
Nothing.
The poop camera?
Yeah. An endoscope.
The scat cam.
The scat cam.
It can be Pat's scat cam.
Oh my god, that's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Gives
you a whole new Pat scat cam for the different perspective on today's news.
Well, when you think about it, dude, like Pat's referring to a story that broke today, and it's definitely broken. I'm pulling it up right now, Pat. I got it. It is from Fox News, of course. It's from Fox News with Pat.
I don't know how that happened. Hey, that was the ShadowNet theme thing. You can't go using
I can't do it
that.
again because he said it while I was doing it, so it's all good. Anyway, a working USB complete with picture and video was found inside of a frozen seal's poop.
Yeah.
Scientists are currently searching for the owner of this USB drive. Now, let me just set this up. Scientists in New Zealand made an unexpected discovery while they were defrosting a slab of leopard seal poop that had been saved in a freezer for more than a year.
Isn't it called what?
Scat.
Didn't they call it scat there,
well,
though?
Yeah, deep inside the slab of poop, known scientifically as scat.
Scientifically?
Yes.
So, scientifically, it's Pat scat.
Pat scat, yeah. They found a USB memory stick. It's a USB memory stick, and it was in reasonably good condition considering where it had been found in a frozen slab of Pat scat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think? They're saying that the memory stick was left out to dry, and remarkably, when it was plugged into a computer, they found amazing footage of a sea lion at Porpoise Bay and the Caitlin's, and a video of a mother and a baby sea lion frolicking in the shadows.
Colonoscopy is what I said.
Frolicking in the shadows, Pat. They were frolicking in the shadow nets, Pat.
In the shadow nets. The disturbing aspect about that to me, and I thought we were going to probably, throw this into the strange news thing you got there, but the disturbing aspect to that was that PETA's outrage was in the fact that, oh my God, this seal might have choked on that thumb drive, and I'm like, well, how does a seal come about on a thumb drive? Are they at all concerned about what happened to the person carrying the thumb drive? Like maybe the seal fucking ate the person.
Yeah.
Or maybe something else ate the person, spit it out, and then the seal came around, ate it, and digested it. I mean, your immediate concern is only for the well-being of a seal.
Well,
over
seals,
a person? How do you get a thumb drive in there if it was in your pocket? Well, that's not a pretty ending.
If it's a thumb drive and they put it up the butt,
Yeah, maybe he was keystering it.
He's keystering it, and then the seal,
the seal keystered it.
It's
right out
totally being keystered. Yeah.
The seal did a reverse keister on it.
I don't know, man.
So, at any rate, yeah, that disturbed me with that. I sent you that to get your thoughts on it.
I'm just wondering if,
as I do with everything important in my life,
I'm wondering if a seal is like a sea pup, like a dog, and dogs can pass anything. pretty much, except chicken wings. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that the person that owns the thumb drive was really in danger. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, why are they freezing slabs of scat?
How does he eat a thumb drive?
I don't know, dude. I think
he drop it. A fish ate it, and then he ate a fish that had the thumb drive in it.
I don't know, but it doesn't seem natural. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem.
Did the thumb drive kill the fish, or did the seal kill the fish? Who's PETA going to be pissed off at?
Probably the scat. Just be mad at the poop. You know? Be like, this is pup shit, bullshit, pat shit. It's pat shit crazy.
Well, as long as the poop's coming out the butt, you're okay. But you know what happens when the poop comes in the butt?
They won't be able to sit down because of the burning in their butthole.
They will have
he can't sit down.
In your butthole.
He's got a burning in his butthole. He's got a fire. He's got a flame coming out of his butthole.
If there was gay porn on that thumb drive, would that sea lion have flames coming out of his butthole?
I would imagine so. You know, and the poor seal, it's like...
Or the seal. I'm sorry, sea lion.
Yeah, well, either
they're
way.
Friends.
Yeah, they're friends.
I think they do each other.
They probably do. I mean, all dogs do.
Hey, baby.
I got 2 female
you're
dogs.
You're a seal. I know, and you're the hottest sea lion I think I ever done laid eyes on. Like some fish. I smell tuna.
Why don't you break that seal, girl?
I think seal has actually used that as a pickup line, the artist.
The artist. The guy with the
That's a handsome black man, isn't it?
He is a handsome black man. With beautiful music, too. You combine the two, and it's like dropping panties left and right, Pat, you know?
Yeah.
Do seals wear panties?
You can't call me racist if I call a seal a handsome black man. And that's in a completely non-sexual, non-homosexual way, although it sounds completely homosexual. I am not a homosexual.
I think I may have just come upon something brilliant just now. Donald Trump Scatman music. I wonder what it would be like if Donald Trump... What is this? I think we just found the new intro music to the No Trump game right there.
That will work.
Yeah, Trump scatting. You know?
That will work.
You know, like scatting is cool. Like come on, Pat, give me some scat, Pat, some Pat scat. Come on, I'll give you a little beat. I'll be like, scat.
I don't even do those Asian karaoke things.
Didn't David Lee Roth do that?
Rap thing.
No,
That's
David Lee Roth used to scat, man.
Hear.
Come on, man.
No, they want to hear your scat.
I want you to scat on my face. I mean, on my microphone right now.
Pat scat.
Pat scat crazy.
He's going for the Pat scat. That's $10 extra, thank you.
Something like that, right? Come on.
$10 extra.
I'll give you $10 if you can scat and ham bone at the same time. Like something like that. How about I slap you in the face while you scat?
This can't be helping future guest profiles.
We'll book a scat band, man. It'd be awesome.
We might be able to book a scat band sometime in the future.
I think, dude. Okay, we had a little bit of an issue. I can't wait to talk about it with our guest tonight.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Hey, look, we got David Lee Roth.
Here it is. It's a 30-minute clip, though, man. How am I going to scroll through that? That's ridiculous. Let's just see if it's right off the rip. That would be really cool.
It's not going to be right off the rip.
You never know.
I could be wrong.
Come on, dude. That's hummala boobala zibbala boobala hummala boobala zibbala bop. I got it, dude.
That was like the first mumble rap.
Doug Bailey, Slingshot Robot, in the chat room. What's up, dude?
That was like the first mumble rap, though, wasn't it? Sort of seems like.
Yeah, you might be right, dude. Mumble rap was invented by David Lee Roth.
It was.
Holy shit, dude. Dude, Doug Bailey's in the chat room. He says, Kevin's not bad at scarring. Then he's like, scathing. Damn it. Never mind, scatting.
It's
I'm good at all three.
Scat rap.
I'm good at scathing.
Scat rap.
Scathing rap. I wonder what that would sound like.
Scat rap.
You know, I don't know.
Which is a scat rap, which is like everything Eminem does from
Hold on.
this day forward.
I'm going to give you my best David Lee Roth scat right now. Ready? All right, I think I got this. Here we go. Hold on a second. Let me get this. Here we go. Oh,
yeah, do you need to drink
was that pretty
water
good?
with it?
Yeah, I need a drink after that. Wow. I thought that was okay, you know? Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all night. Wow. I think I might get signed after that, you know? Spicoli's in the chat room. He says, another cool Kevin Holly replay. No, we're live. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Hey, man, last week, Spicoli asked me to come on
this
to the...
would make a great rerun, though.
Don't interrupt me, Pat. This is why my stories take so long, okay? And it would actually be a good rerun.
I'm sorry, Mr. Howard.
I'm just going to play it over and over and over again because I think I'm really good at it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I gotta bring this up to
what have I done? Okay. I don't know what I did there. So, last week, SpicoliTV.com. Oh, for fuck's sake, turn it off, Pat!
I love it.
I know, me too. All right, so last week on SpicoliTV.com, right, our good friends, Spicoli and Smitty. Smitty was sick, right? So Spicoli reached out to me, of all people, and said, hey, could you co-host tonight, short notice? And I was like, well, because I'm short? And I was like, no, I can't do it. You know, I got my kids.
He sanitized the microphone.
Oh, sweet, man. Vic is here. He must be on his way up because he said the guard was expecting us. All right.
Did he draw on him?
Probably. He drew like a penis on his head.
Oh, the gun. Kevin Howley, you should probably draw on him.
I'm going to draw penis on your head.
Later. I literally, and Kevin will tell you that, I literally told the security guard to do that.
So check it out, though. Last week, I couldn't make it. Guess who they had on for SpicoliTV.com? They had Monica from The Bone and Spike on the mic, dude. How cool is that? Like, I was like, man, actually, I could have been there, but I'm not there. But of all people to be there, Monica and Spike, dude, that's awesome. You know,
Monica?
Yeah, Monica's cool.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I have no idea who either of those people are. I don't get out much socially.
Dude, I just got a message from John LeBang. He says he doesn't think that he can scat and hambone at the same time, but he'll try it. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to get into that in the second hour too, man. I presented an award for the Banger Music Awards, the BMAs, last week. It was fantastic, man. It was so fun. So proud of John LeBang. Speaking of John LeBang, stick around 11 p.m. tonight on the IRN, the John LeBang Show, following our show.
I could easily see you emceeing some scat awards.
The Pat Scat Awards. Should I send you down to get
interesting
Vic?
Show trophy?
Yeah, go. Could you please?
You can shine a turd.
Vic doesn't know how to get to this office.
Polish
man.
a turd.
Yeah, I polish knobs.
Of course,
turds.
Okay.
He doesn't know where he's coming.
I should go out to the elevator.
Yeah, go get Vic. You peon. Thank you. And get my goddamn gosh darn coffee. Thank you. All right, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Where's that kid with my latte? All right, so now I'm all alone. Yeah, thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. Wow, I used the Lord's name in vain. I apologize. I've been working on not doing that. So I apologize. Yeah. So anyway, I'm alone in the room now. It's so awkward. So I'm just gonna scat again. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh my God, I can hear him coming down the hallway. Yeah, look at this. Look at these guys. All right, come on in, man. Pull up a chair, grab a mic.
I'm going to migrate over here.
Oh, you're going to migrate, are you? All right. We are live on the air, so no F-bombs. If you guys could please not fucking do that, that'd be great. Appreciate it. Vic, what's up, man? How are you?
Pleasure, man.
Nice to meet you again, man. Nice to see you. I remember you being a little taller, but apparently we're the same. Well, you're probably a little taller than I am, but, whatever. Grab that mic, put it right up to your mug. Then let me turn you up here. Oh, this is great. Who's your friend, man?
I brought Paul, my photographer.
Awesome. Welcome, Paul.
He's my videographer.
Nice to meet you, man.
D
awesome.
+1.
Paul, I believe you were at Sven's birthday party. I remember you walking around the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, you both look very familiar. Fuck yeah. Are you going to take a lot of pictures of me tonight? This is my good side right here, Just kidding. You don't have to. No, please don't.
He thought we were interviewing somebody. I said, no. We're going to be interviewing. He said, well, I ain't talking, am I?
Oh, no. You can talk. You can take photos. You can talk. You can do whatever you want, man. Anything goes in here. So listen, we've got Vic Lima and your photographer.
PJC Photos.
BJC?
PJC Photos.
PJC Photos. Awesome. All right. That's my brother's moniker, Filbert Jerome PJ, so I can't forget that.
Jerome.
Jerome's a cool name for a middle name for a white dude. I think it's badass. I'm jealous. Mine's Arthur. I got stuck with Arthur, and he's got Jerome, you know? And he's got the PJ, which is cool. What am I, K-A-H? That sucks. I'm Ka. It's like Ka. If I say it twice, it's stupid. It sucks. Don't laugh, Pat. Don't laugh at me, Pat. All right. Anyway, so welcome
Your
to the
brother
show.
does seem to have come out ahead on everything, though, throughout your childhood.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I mean, it was weird, dude. Like, when we were kids, we used to take showers and baths together, and we would, like, plug up the drain so it would fill up like a flood. And, yeah, it was just like wieners just spinning around like helicopters. Like, let's get out of here. I don't know. It stained me forever, dude.
This is why you've never been able to manage expectations properly, either.
No, I'm all about low expectations, Pat.
That's why I thank Mom I'm the single child.
Dude, I would love to have been a single child. I mean, I love my siblings, don't get me wrong.
I wouldn't mind having sisters. I wouldn't mind having a wife and kids and a dog and, a cat and, and all that good stuff.
Pump the brakes, man. A cat, I mean, come on.
But that ain't me.
A cat will kill you in your sleep, dude. You don't want a cat. Oh, man. So, Vic, dude, welcome to the show. I'm really happy that you're here. I understand, and, to me, it's like... You're like an enigma to me, like a puzzle. Like, I don't know if you're a concert promoter, a band promoter, if you're in a band, if you sign bands, I have no idea. You're so spread out, so thin. You know what I mean?
All of the above.
There you go. Right.
A little bit of everything. I've been in the industry quite a long time. I used to sing in the 80s myself. I used to be in a couple bands, and, they never really went anywhere. But
were they local here? Or?
Yes, here in Tampa. I
grew up. Who was that? I listened to local bands in the 80s. I grew up around here.
Yeah, I grew up in Miami, and I came here when I was about 17, close to 18. And a friend of mine was already playing in a band, and he was playing in a band called Tight Squeeze. And I used to be like North Tampa, the Bottle Club, the Night Moves Bottle Club, if people can remember that, as upstairs, downstairs, and there was the Molly McGuire's right next door. That was Bears and 41.
Bears and 41.
Yeah, so I grew kind of, when I was 18, I had an aunt and a cousin that already lived up here in Lutz, and so I came from Miami, getting away from the McDuffie riot case that just happened. And,
that was
before the L.A. riots.
Yeah.
So.
What was that? The name of that part of Miami that was in the Grand Theft Auto?
Liberty City.
Liberty City.
Yep, that's
Dude,
where I grew up.
Can I side note something for you real quick that you brought that up? I used to work for like a sign and graphics company probably about 5 or 7 years ago, and we were doing the metal letters on a monument sign for the Northdale Police Department, which was in Liberty City.
Yep.
And we had like a green fence around the job site, and we called it the green zone. We were safe inside there. But I asked the foreman there, I'm like, hey, where can we get some lunch quick, And he's like, anywhere but here. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, when you leave here, lock your doors while you're driving, don't roll your windows down. I'm like, come on, man. I grew up around Chicago, in the suburbs or whatever. I'm like, I live in Newport Richey, and I've seen a lot of stuff in my life. I'm in my 40s now,
Well, those places that you mentioned, like Chicago and all those Detroit, all those, New York, places that had a lot of, and still do, obviously, crime was running rapid back then. Miami was the start of it. Liberty City, after the McDuffie case, and obviously they beat the motorcyclist and pulled him off his bike and beat him up. And
it's a huge riot.
And so I was... I was like 17. I was working in fast food at the time. I hadn't gotten into the music business yet. And I used to have to ride the Metro bus, down straight through Liberty City. And since they had the National Guard, had it completely blocked off the city, the bus would go around, the Liberty area.
Yeah.
Well, after several times of getting on the bus and seeing that I was the only white guy on the bus, including the bus driver, Mom thought it was time to give me my first car. so at 17, she gave me her old beat-up AMC 3-column on the shift.
Was it a Gremlin?
No.
Please, man, I wish it was a Gremlin. Javelin?
No, Alliance.
Alliance, wow.
AMC Alliance with the 3-shift on the column. And
wow.
I used to get jammed up all the time. But anyway, so that's basically where I grew up, and then shortly after that happened, my mother was married to an airline reservationist, worked for Western Airlines. They got transferred to Denver. So I was like, okay, now what about me? And she said, well, either go to the Army and join your father, which my father's military all his life. Divorced, my mom at 2, so I didn't really grow up in a military-type family. So my aunt lived up here, like I said. She had a farm, 10 acres out in Lutz. So I had a cousin that was my age that went to school down in Miami, but he came up here 5 years prior because he didn't go to high school down there. And he came up here.
Yeah.
And that's when he met his buddy John Smith, who was a guitar player in the band called Tight Squeeze. So when I came up here, I didn't know none of these guys. I didn't know my cousin knew music, played guitar. And I had a buddy of mine that kind of started me off with, book and, guitar and had me strum chords, back, the old infamous Freebird and, and stuff like that, that was real simple, easy strumming, and then he would do his leads, and, and so I kind of picked up the guitar. I was fascinated. Then I heard Eruption from Van
Halen's Eruption, yeah.
And that kind of really pulled me into the music world. I ended up moving up here.
I can't stop.
Yeah.
Did you like when David Lee Roth scats? I'm sorry, dude. I could have been in the band with you, man. Let's start a new one. Let's get the band back together.
That was weird. So that was basically how I got into music. Then when I came up here, my cousin played guitar. I played a little guitar. And so he had a couple friends in the neighborhood that we tried to put a band together. But then, that never really amounted to anything. So we'd go over his buddy's house, John Smith, and John was in a band called Tight Squeeze, and they played some local bars and stuff like that. And I got going to bars at 18 back then, and then when I turned 18, they raised it to 19. And when I turned 19,
I was here that same. I got grandfathered in. Absolutely.
He's a grandfather now too. It's weird.
I was 65.
Really?
When were you? When were you born?
No, 62.
62.
Yeah.
But you were. I was right at the line there.
Same age.
I made it by
area, but
one day.
So that was basically it. I mean, I started to go see that band, and then unfortunately, John ended up getting thrown out of his own band, and the band went on without him. So I ended up getting in a band with him. We put a band together, and it was called White Rock, and so we basically played a lot of the old AC/DC and Van Halen and stuff like that. And I was singing, playing a little guitar. So finally, I put down the guitar because I realized I couldn't really play and sing at the same time. It was a little too difficult, and I never really practiced a lot of guitar.
I suck at doing that, man. It's so hard.
Never really into the practice and all that because at 20, 21, I was out chasing women and booze and and having a blast and partying. So to me, sitting at home and practicing was boring. So I never really got very good at the guitar. And then I started fronting for our band a little bit. And as I said, I don't know. I guess it was late 80s. 86, 87. They had another singer that they knew. One of my guitar players knew a singer. He had moved down from Ohio, and he was in a big national touring band. And I, matter of fact, just posted this story on Facebook. We had a Kickback Thursday. A friend of mine, Chris Graham, who was one of the guitar players in Tight Squeeze, he sent me a post of an old picture, and the picture was of Joey Irvin, I believe his name was. He was a singer in his band, but then he moved up north to Ohio. Next thing you know, he joined a band called War Child. They did a couple albums. They toured around the States. And then he came back down here after that kind of fell apart. And so did his guitar player, who ended up being Butch Whitney from Sobriety X.
Really?
So when Joey came back, of course he was more, accomplished vocalist, and they ended up taking him on versus me. And so then I felt now how John felt. Got thrown out of my own band. So I went off and joined a band called Dillinger, and if you recall they used to be a house band at the Stadium Lounge that turned into the Rocket Club.
Okay.
Eventually. So that we're talking late 80s. And so I played in that band for about 3 months.
We used to go down to the Rocket Club. Stranger played there all the time.
Right, all back in the day, when
I remember
Nasty Savage and Sabotage and all these bands were coming out, and doing real good, and starting to create a big, huge metal scene for us, which I guess as some of you may know out there, any metalheads and fans, those two bands. But Brandon ended up being like the metal capital of the country during those years.
Where?
Brandon, Florida.
Oh, really?
And they actually had more metal unit sales in the industry than just about anybody. So all these bands that, kind of come out of here, Sabotage and Oblivion and...
You remember
and
Deicide?
Savage and Deicide.
Steve, the drummer,
right?
And I don't play a lick of music, never played in my life.
Right.
I helped Steve and the guys carpet their garage in Dunedin back in the early 80s when they were just putting Deicide together in their band. I was working up at Countryside Mall at the ice rink there at Center
Pat
Ice.
crashed the Zamboni
And Steve
into
and
his
those
boss's
guys,
office and got fired.
They used to come up there all the time. We had mutual friends, so we would hang out with Steve and those guys and then go back to their place when
In
they
Dunedin,
were first coming in together.
where
It was
lesbians
awesome.
retire. Dunedin.
So that in Gulfport, I think.
So Vic, all this
so I was leading to
spirals together.
So
yeah.
I was leading to the fact that what happened was, and I got out of the band thing in the late 80s and early 90s, and because I started going out to places like the Rocket Club and checking out bands, back in the day, like I said, not only those bands, Bleeding Hearts and St. Warrant Brothers, and all these bands. Some of them have gone off to do great things. And others are still hanging around playing like we are, today. But basically, I ended up hooking up with Rick White, which Rick White is a sound engineer now. Used to be at LA Hangout. Shockwave Productions was the name of his company. Now he's at the Bottle House, I guess, on occasion. But he had a house gig there for a while. But anyways, so Rick White, a great friend of mine. I ended up learning a lot about production and bands and promoting. And that's how I kind of got into promoting, because I saw that there was just so much more talent than me out there.
I know the feeling.
And I thought, I don't have a shot in hell. These kids are awesome, and nobody's signing them, because all my friends were going to LA and trying to get out there, and a lot of them got famous and got in movies, got in rock bands, and so I hooked up with him, and he talked me into the promoting thing. Because he was on the road with Molly Hatchet for a while, and then when he came back into town, Fred Golpa had cornered the market, as far as live music, and he had all these, bands that were coming through there and stuff like that, and eventually, I just started promoting bands, because once I started seeing all these bands, I go, wow, I think that I got a good ear for music, but I may not be a great musician. So that's how I got into promoting, was with Rick.
So
and then
you never walked away from it.
So no. So actually, what I was doing back then was actually supporting the original scene, which back in the day, it was cool to pay $5 to see 4 or 5 good bands.
Yeah.
You had quality production with the big light shows and the big production and the old school stuff, and what was considered the A circuit. Which was if you were of not so much caliber of music, you couldn't play on these venues and then on these stages. Well,
yeah, remember the Brass Mug? I mean, there was bands that would just come around.
Back to I remember that place as well, before obviously the Rocket Club, and the Brass Mug was around for a long time. Started supporting music. Of course, Heather. I remember when Heather bought the bar way back in the '80s. I think it might have been the early 90s. I'm not sure when she bought it, but she bought it from Carl. I remember the original owner. And they started supporting original music, and that was great. And don't get me wrong, back in the day, that was what we did, because they were getting signed, artists were getting signed. It was all about original music. But what it did was, in my theory, and I've told this story a million times, it's way too long, so I'm going to make it real short, is that Fred Golpa basically opened up Pandora's box when he allowed all the original bands to come start playing at the club. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of slack on this story, right. But it's my theory, and it's basically what happened was eventually all these original bands were coming out of the woodwork to play at places like that, because they couldn't. They're stuck in their garages or mom's houses or warehouses practicing. And Fred allowed that. Fred hooked up with 98 Rock, hooked up with Austin Keys, if anybody can remember the DJ. Yep. Well, Austin started supporting original music as well, and then of course his show would end at 10, and then they would go live from the Rocket Club, and he started doing original bands on Sunday.
Remember Greg Winters?
I can't say that name.
He was on 98 Raw. He was one of the DJs. We used to hang out with Greg.
But so that happened basically was the whole
Good story,
original
Pat.
the whole original scene. You know,
Come on, these are
the whole original scene started blowing up basically. Okay, but what it did was back when we remember the A circuit. The cover bands were playing Wednesday through Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, they were playing 5 nights a week. They were bringing in their own production and lights and their own crew, and they would get paid, $4,500 to $7,500 on average. And so when Fred Sunday took off and blew up, because obviously nobody was supporting original music, not back then, and of course everything what was going on in L.A. obviously was spreading around the country and getting signed and all that.
Your
was
Guns N' Roses, your Motley Crue, all that. Man.
That was the explosion, the 80s.
Yeah.
That's why we all loved it. It was great. And so that eventually Fred was making so much money at doing that he ended up doing it all the time.
Yeah.
And doing it full time, which
Why not?
Which as a businessman was a great move, but what it did was it totally cut the commercial artist off at the knees, because then not only he was successful doing it, 98 Rock obviously getting successful by their marketing campaign with the Stairway to Heaven forever and ever and ever over and over and over
and they
again.
got money.
Right.
You know?
So basically, every huge A circuit club in the state started doing the same thing, because these bands were willing to come and play for nothing and get up on stage, and it was great. Don't get me wrong.
That's
I
cool
supported
for-
a lot of music,
Yeah.
original music, but I think that was the threshold of the fall of, because then eventually, it got so crazy as far as original music, then the death metal and the heavier stuff started coming out, and and the real non-commercial,
The
let's
deicide.
say. Yeah, well, not that there was nothing wrong with stuff. I listened to a lot of it myself, Oblivion, Nasty Savage, all those bands. I loved it, but what it did, it actually killed the commercial scene for the artist, and it actually defunct the
It
A circuit
undercut
here in
it.
Florida.
Yeah.
And so over the years, decades have gone by, and obviously we've seen the hip hop world take over in the 90s and 2000s, and obviously
That's cool, but the mumble rap part of it needs to go backwards a little bit, man.
But the situation is, that's what I'm saying. Like everything else that comes around every 20 years, they're at where we were in the 80s, the over excessive lifestyle and the videos and the crazy mad live shows and what happened behind the scenes, and now they're doing the same thing, but in the hip hop world. So it was it's getting old now, so now everybody's looking for fresh stuff. And like you said, we've already had our 70s come back through, and the 80s come back through, and the 90s, and so now we're looking at the 90s, and it's like, God, that was like 25 years ago. and so so basically about mid-90s, I kind of got away from the promoting thing, because then I met Kenny McGee, which came back from L.A. from being signed with Juliet. He joined a band called Heartless.
Okay.
They had Baby Jane on the radio. 98 Rock was one of their big hits. So I latched on to Kenny's coattail, and I said, well, if I'm not going to be able to be that guy, might as well hang out with this guy that is the guy and learn from him and study. So I booked him, for like 4 or 5 years solid. I mean, he owned a club called GK's, because when the Rocket Club finally closed, imagine that, eventually nobody would go support his club anymore, so it closed. So Kenny was his prime product. Fred managed Heartless, and so when that deal fell through and they couldn't get signed, or actually Kenny refused to sign any deals because they were not even as big as the one that he had in L.A. So a lot of people obviously started dumping on him, and I ended up hooking up with him. He owned a bar, and I started showcasing new bands for him in his bar. And then, after a while, he's like,
cool.
What are you doing? Why are you doing this? What are you? Like you
that's
said,
what I'm thinking. Like,
are
how
you
do you
an
fit into
agent?
this?
Are you a promoter? Are you trying to build an agency or what? And I said, I'm just trying to find the best band around and work with them. Maybe manage, maybe help promote. And he goes, well, you come see my band. And I was like, well, who are you again? I shook his hand, and it's like, Kenny McGee. I go, why does that name ring a bell? I know I've heard of him.
I'll tell you, Spicoli in the chat room is saying that he's known Kenny forever, and he says Kenny's a great dude. I've known him forever, great voice. These guys, this chat room is on fire right now. People are saying Rocket Club rules.
Yeah.
Long live Fred Gopla. Bleeding Hearts were awesome. Loved Uncle Sally. Stranger and Sabotage. Ruled the
Again,
sound.
all those
dated
bands.
your
That
chat
was
room.
Right, but that was a huge error for all of us, and I remember those days. So what I ended up doing was hooking up with Kenny. I started booking him full time. We ended up closing the bar. and going on kind of like the little Tampa Bay tour, you know, and it got to a point where, and he rejuvenated the band Lefty, the band name, you know, and everybody knew Lefty way back in the day before Juliet and, you know, all these other bands came along. So basically, when he brought that band, he hired a band, you know, a bunch of hired guns, and he put the show together, and I went and saw it, and it was a 2-hour show. They took no breaks. Nicky J used to play the drums, and he light his sticks on fire, you know, as he does in Papa
awesome.
Cherry, you know, because he ended up going to Papa Cherry years later. But, you know, and so then it was a 2-hour show, and they light his sticks on fire, and it was just a dramatic 2-hour show. It was just like a concert. No bands really did that anymore. And a lot of the club, I had no problem selling that show because no one ever did anything like that. And so we ended up, you know, booking. And then I had the weekends all booked up with the band, and he says, well, I want to work during the week, too. I want to do this full time. And so next thing you know, I was booking acoustic shows on the beach for him and this and that. And I got to a point after our third or fourth year together, because, you know, I always was road manager. I'd take them all the gigs, you know, get them there, make sure the gig went smooth, and then I would leave. And, you know, the crew did their thing, and we did ours. And basically, eventually, I think it was over 320 dates a year for the following 3 years after that.
Wow.
So we mean almost every day of the week. And then, of course, some weeks were up to 10 shows because then I was, back in the day, we were working with Green Iguanas and, you know, all the places that were busy, you know, 7 days a week they had music. So it was nice to hook up. Of course, a product like him was flawless, so I didn't have no problem selling that. And, of course, a lot of people got to know me being associated with him, and some of them still to this day remember me as a singer, too, you know, but that never went anywhere. So, like I said, I hung on to Kenny. I'd say we worked together for about 8 years, and, you know, just eventually we just worked our different ways. You know, he had other ideas and dreams, and, you know, I wanted to accomplish more than stand in his shadow the rest of my life, you know. So I had some ideas of my own. But mid-'90s is when I started the Tampa Bay Music Network.
That's what I'm talking about. So you got the Tampa Bay Music Network.
Well, the reason why I started that, and let me explain, was because when I got back in the scene after working with Kenny for so long, everything had changed. You know, obviously the whole scene had changed, and you had all the original music, and there was hardly any cover bands, but that was turning stagnant now too. You know, you're getting into the 2 decades of Nowheresville. Nobody knows what's going on. No one knows, you know, and you're paying outrageous amounts of money to sell tickets, and, you know, you can't get your friends to come out.
Other bands are doing shit for free.
Yeah,
you know?
So inevitably, you know, when I parted from Kenny, I started the network, and I had to go around and do the research and go, okay, what is going to make me different? You know, I'm not an agent. I don't charge commission to the bands at all. The network is free.
Cool.
My clients, okay, like I have clients that, you know, when I worked, obviously I got my Born to Ride TV and magazine beanie on, you know, Ronnie Galletti and Debbie Galletti allowed me, you know, I'd known them from back in the Nasty Savage days, and they had their motorcycle magazine, which was taken off, Born to Ride, and was doing great.
It's one of my go-tos, man.
So, yeah, so I ended up, you know, Ronnie called me up. He had a couple clubs, couple events that needed some good music. He kind of heard I was back in the scene. You know, he knew me when I was managing Kenny. And then eventually, you know, he started calling me up, and I started doing some gigs for him. Next thing you know, I started emceeing. You know, so I have some great clients thanks to them now. You know, I've worked with, you know, Uncle Mike's Smokehouse, the Porpoise Pub, obviously, Screwy Louie and Richard before it burnt down. And then Matt Peggy's for the last 6 years now being their entertainment director. So that's, my business card says venue entertainment consultant, because that's basically what I am.
It's like an encompassing nutshell.
I can do a little bit of everything, but what I'm trying to do and what I've been hoping to do with the network, and like you said, it's been pretty successful, and I'll give you a couple reasons why later. I'll go talk your ear off, as everybody knows me, so I know we'll probably have to take a break, but don't give me a mic is what basically people say. But, you know, that's why I MC all my shows and host all my shows.
I get the same shit.
Yeah, believe me, you know, so, yeah, and so that, you know, eventually, like I said, I had to figure out a way It wasn't about the money. I didn't really care about the money.
Monetize it.
I have a.
Well, yeah, people have to get paid.
Well, I know, but I have a career, doing auto collision, for 25 years, and that's kind of fed my dreams and allowed me to do and be who I am now because I've had the income to do that.
You accidentally sent me a picture of a come along on the front end damaged like Nissan Maxima or something, and I'm like, wow, this dude's got it down. It's the best damn come along I've ever seen.
I know. It was was shooting you some photos anyways, but so basically that's how I got into the business. I started doing that, and then people like Peggy's, and then I ended up getting Harley Davidson for a while there. For a couple of years I was doing all their entertainment at all the locations, Newport Richie, Tampa, Brandon. Awesome. And I went up to Panama City, and I went up to Daytona with Born to Ride, and did the whole bike week and Biketoberfest, and did that for several years, and got my name out there, and a lot of people obviously knew me as the band guy, and then like I said, thanks to Ronnie and Debbie from Born to Ride, they've allowed me to kind of enter into the biker world, and and that's been great for the last 5, 6, 7 years, and so I continued running the network, and I had to keep continuing thinking of ideas to keep the people interested, okay, because everybody was confused. Okay, what do you do? Do you play in a band? Do you actually? Well, yeah, I still sing. I'll get up, play Pantera or Godsmack with the boys once in a while, because can't sing the Journey and the Led Zeppelin anymore.
Could if you want to, but probably not.
Ain't gonna happen.
Cease and desist.
But so so that's all great, Danny. But I just wanted to figure.
Don't worry about it. It's all right.
I can only sing like this now. But so I tried to keep figuring out ways to keep people interested. I ended up starting some annual events that I still do to this day. One which I'm primarily really known for excuse me, is the Music Awards, because I've been doing that since 2009 when I created the concept, which was I started off with 5 awards. I had just gotten a network. I was dealing with some I was at Boomer's nightclub is where I actually started it. They were doing a lot of original music scene there for a long time. Cool. And I went in there, and I knew Ed, the owner, and I said, look, I got this concept. I want to bring the cover band scene back, and all that. And then, and he goes, well, who's going to pay him? And I go, well, you are. And he goes, well, where? Out of the register? I don't make any money. And I go, well, because because you've got all the wrong personnel in your club. You have all these kids that paid a $10 cover, and they're getting in the door, but they can't afford to drink or are old enough to drink. So the club's not making any money. And the only one making any money, let's face it, is the promoter at the door. The bands are not getting paid. Some of them do, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to knock the people that are out there doing that now. I don't drop names. I'm not to bash bands or local promoters. But that whole concept started getting stale. And so it's, so I saw that there was no real niche for me in that scene, in the original scene. So I started supporting the cover scene and figuring out a way to get my clients and help them, the club owners that didn't know, who's the hot band, who does draw, what's a good fit for my club. Yeah. All these questions and things that they throw up on the wall and see what sticks, or the bartender, tells them, who to, or their Johnny's their buddy, and he knows it. I know a couple bands, I know a couple bands, I can do this, and so then it just ultimately is never really the whole puzzle, which is, my logo, my website is 4 pieces of a puzzle, and it's venue, band, customer, staff. Get connected. The 4 of us working together can be more successful than everybody pointing the finger and you didn't do your job and or you got too many hats you're wearing and I don't want to pay Joe and Bobby to do this because I can just do it myself. And this is where these club owners falter. Just because you know how to run a club doesn't mean you know how to put live entertainment in it. That's a whole other ball game. The musicians are a different animal. They're hard to deal with. Some of them are very egotistic. You have to know how to work, certain individuals and artists and bands and, scenarios to make it work. So that's kind of why I started the network. My award show's taken off. I started off with 5 awards. I awarded the individuals that helped me, that helped my concept. I created the music showcase, format, which I got a couple of them coming up. I'll talk about a
That's
little bit.
11 years worth, right?
So basically what I did was put showcases together for my clients because, of course, nobody likes to do the audition. Nobody wants to play for free, which we all end up doing. and it was easier back in the day. But so I provide the production and the format and the promotion and the posters and sometimes even the back line, and then the artist can come in, play for the client, do a set. It's like a typical jam or benefit, a little more professional though, and a little more presented a little better. So I give them a professional platform to showcase their talent. But since I'm not an agent, if they like the band, I hook them up. Here you go. That's the booker. Now, in some cases,
get connected.
Exactly.
There
now,
you
in
go.
some cases, I may be the booker.
Sure.
Because I may be hired by the club to be their entertainment director because they don't know.
Depends on the club.
What to do. Yeah. So in other words, that started snowballing. The award show, the showcases. So people started getting on board, new artists. So that kind of became my clique. There's a lot of great bands out there, and they're booked all the time in all the clubs. But inevitably, that gets stale. After you see the same band, some of them don't want to even learn music and all kinds of things and different reasons why ultimately they become they fade out or they break up. They form another band because then they start clashing of the heads. It's difficult to keep.
Somebody's not happy, and other bands like we need a drummer. Next thing you know. You know what I mean?
Right. So
Things
the
change.
only thing that I guess I really wanted to do with all this and the events and what I've been successful in my eyes is that I wanted to bring the music community back together. In the early 2000s and late 90s and early 2000s. And I'm sure a lot of you out there will recall, everybody was on Craigslist and bashing each other and they're undercutting each other. And it was a huge mess during the 2000s for the local music scene. And so that's what I did. I started with seasoned artists that I knew that had played back in the day, and they're now in new bands, and I knew they were popular, so I knew that they would bring people. And so there was a lot of, chemistry and science and, putting things together and figuring out what works, so it is kind of a science, and it is kind of, what I do now because I've semi-perfected doing these scenarios. And so the award show is probably what I'm most recognized for, because obviously giving awards to some of these artists that have been around here for a long time.
I want awards.
And
I
never
want to get awarded.
And never, well,
Who doesn't?
getting into the radio busince now, maybe we'll have to start giving away some radio awards.
Yeah, I'll lose to Open Mic Live every time.
Well, but once again, that was what people really started recognizing and then appreciating what I was doing for the scene and what I was trying to accomplish by bringing us together and these showcases and these award shows and things like that. It's like a benefit. Everybody comes and does their part. They do it for a good cause. Some of them, benefit out of it and they get gigs and, and then they get recognized, and pretty soon they don't need Vic anymore because I'm not really an agent. They call it book my band. I don't really book bands. I mean, I throw showcases. I put shows together. I do book on occasion, stuff like that. I don't charge the commission because I'm not a licensed agent. And so a lot of other people have really looked down and created a lot of negative, for me because of that factor, that I'm not an actual live agent,
So speaking of negativity, you were going to be bringing a band with you tonight. I don't know if I want to say the name of the band, but very cool people, good band, wholesome.
Well, I figured, I don't want to sit here and talk about me all night. I had some other people that I wanted to help promote, and some people coming out with new CDs, and a buddy of mine that we'll get to has a book, a cookbook that's got a lot of huge artists' personal recipes in it, and it's all for autism. Kenny Wilkerson from Nova Rex will be talking about that.
Let's do that right now. We don't have all night. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's do that. Let's promote that, because that was one of the most one of the things I was the most excited about. I've got a family member that has Asperger's. And anything that, locally especially, that promotes the benefit of people with autism or Asperger's or something like that, I'm excited about. And I want to promote that.
Well, Kenny, I tried to get him on tonight. He said he'll do a call-in, so maybe during one of the breaks I can give him a buzz. Maybe he can call in. But I'll give you a brief on it. Obviously, like I said, he's created this cookbook. And he's got a lot of people interested in it, but he's also got a lot of huge international, national artists that have, their own personal recipe in it or whatever. And like I said, it's all going toward, a lot of it's going toward autism, and Rockin' for Autism, I believe, is the organization. I don't have my notes in front of me, but I'll give a little more detail.
Yeah, we'll put it on the show page.
But he's basically doing that, and he's trying to promote the book, and he's getting pre-sales, and he's going to be publishing it here soon, and so he's out there trying to. And I figured, hey, here's another market for your area. His band Nova Rex. Which is, I guess, kind of the epitome of 80s rock and roll. Been rocking for 38 years solid, and he's been in the band since he was 18, and managing the band and doing all that. And so these are, some different ideas that he's, wanting to get into and stuff like that. He also has a little radio show, I believe. I'm not too familiar with all of that, but
it doesn't have to be little, Vic.
Well, it's probably pretty big. I don't know. I don't listen to it.
Manage expectations.
Yeah, lower the bar. You know what I mean?
But like I said, so he's doing a great thing. He's got some pretty huge artists, like I said, in it. We'll have to give him a call and find out, but of course you can go, to Wilkerson, like the Razor, Kenny Wilkerson of Nova Rex, and of course the band, you go to the band or you go to his personal site, and I'm not sure exactly what the book, I have to get the website out.
We'll figure it out. We always, after every show, we promote all of the guests. I've got an interview I did yesterday that was pre-recorded that I'm going to put out tomorrow night. It's not even going to be live.
Right.
And, those things just roll throughout the week. So we'll hook that up for sure.
Yeah, he's like I said, a great guy. He's constantly touring around and doing all kinds of stuff. They just come out with a CD I believe it was last summer, Rock and Roll Roadshow or something like that. And it's CD. Me and my partner James Struthers were executive producers on that. We helped them out, get that thing closed up and sealed and in the boxes and getting them out. And then they did a little tour around the States, and so like I said, he's starting this book thing, and I think it's a great concept. He's got some pretty large interviews that he's already done, on some morning shows and TV shows and radio shows, and so I applaud him, and that was something I wanted to plug tonight. As I said, we'll get a more in-depth interview with him, and he can go further with that, but
so I think something's hilarious, dude. I should probably wait till Pat comes back, but there were some gentlemen that you're going to bring with you tonight. And their management, the band's management, said, yeah, no, cut that out. They're not coming. And the reason was because they listened to one of our past episodes, and they were like, nope, can't do it. Now, I got to tell you, dude, I've been doing this show. We're going on our 4th year now. And I've been around a long time, and this is still, I still get starstruck. A lot of this is still very new to me. You know what I mean? Supporting local music, supporting local comics is like, that's two of the biggest things that we do. We really enjoy it. We love interacting with people. We love going out and seeing those guys and meeting their friends, and just kind of like, it's like a ball that just starts rolling and you have a blast doing it. I got to tell you, never once have we booked a guest, then they listened to the show, or their agent listened, or their management listened, or their PR guy listened, and then they pulled out. It's never happened, and we get raunchy as hell up in here.
I think that's the problem. I mean, I guess the way he put it was, if he was a rock band, it probably would be different.
I get that.
There's some country guys. They're trying to, they got a good, clean image. They're good guys. They got great music, but they have a lot. Right, but they have a lot of. Some larger people looking at their CD, and I just thought maybe this would be a good way.
Because I'm short? What?
Well, no.
What?
Well, I mean, in the industry,
okay.
They're interested in their music, and they're about to release a CD if they haven't already.
I understand,
and so basically, I guess they just thought that maybe this wasn't the right.
I'm saying it's the first time I've been told. I'm sure it's happened a million times, dude. You know what I mean? There's, we got a scheduling conflict. Can't make it. Whatever.
No, it's like I said, good guys, great stuff. They played at one of my events recently. Like I said, there's no need to drop the name or band, and I don't want anything negative being said. It's just
I'm fine with it. If they want to be snowflake little pussies, that's fine. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Jokes. Those are jokes.
No, great band. Got some great original music and some good artists in there as well. And so I wish them luck, and maybe
listen, dude,
something else down their avenue.
I am not upset about it at all. I really am not, and I just I think it's funny. Like, listen, I've used like the band Pepper for intro music before. Then it gets kicked off YouTube or social media because of copyright infringement. I'm waiting for the day that one of my favorite bands, like Pepper, sends me a cease and desist letter. I will frame that and put that outside the door. You know what I mean? Fine, I'll stop playing it. But guess what? Look what we got. You know what I mean? But I want to read this. I'm not going to say anybody's names or anything like that. But I want to set this up for people. Here we go. Let me pull it up. All right. when I saw this dude, I was at Lowe's working. I had a purchase order for the company I work for. I'm trying to make things happen. My phone's like, bloop, 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 and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh man. I'm like, I've been trying to get Vic on this show for months. We've been talking since Sven's birthday party.
I know.
You know?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Sven.
And it's for Murder the Crow, yeah. So I'm like, oh man, so here we go. I got to scroll up. This is the message that I got edited out my mouth here. He said, okay, so management for this band listened to the last broadcast that was on YouTube, and they were told to decline. They can't come on tonight. Sorry, I'll explain later. And then he said
Probably a good idea.
They listened to episode 153 with Bergie, the last podcast on YouTube, talking about sucking dicks, wiggers in Pinellas Park.
In fairness, I think Kevin did the wigger.
I don't think I did.
I do.
I'm pretty sure that's all you did.
I held the only Obama for America meetup in all of Iraq in 2008.
Oh, so you voted for Obama twice. Look how not racist Pat is. Okay.
I'm throwing in my get out of racism free card with that.
So they said if they were a sleazy rock band, maybe. But they're Southern boys with mom and dad listening. Dude, I totally get it. And I'm joking when I call them pussy snowflake. I totally
like
understand,
I said, nice guys, and everybody has
sure.
their, what avenues they want to take, and this just wasn't appropriate for them. So that's
Understood.
understandable.
But
they hadn't
at the
even
same time,
gotten to the shadow net yet.
Oh, come on, Pat.
They'll be gone.
I'll
or
tell you what,
just
though.
possibly disappeared.
Look, Vic,
Arkansided.
Instead of being like, "Are you kidding me?" I looked at it and I smiled ear to ear, and I was like, "That's awesome." No. To me, that's hilarious, and it's cool because that shows me that people are judging it. Like, it's polarizing. It's making people think one way or another, and to me, that makes me proud.
I told Kevin, White Elephant, somebody listened to your fucking show.
Yeah, and they hated it.
And they hated it.
They
but
think it's
they listened. Someone listened to the show.
Well, I think Kenny said it best back in the day. He used to tell me, he said, well, when they stop talking about you is when you need to worry about it.
Yeah, you know what? To me, it's cool, though, honestly. Like, I'm totally fine with it. I think it's like another notch on my belt. Like, wow, an awesome band said no thank you because you guys do things a little bit differently than we want to be involved with, but respectfully. And I respectfully say thank you for saying it because that's cool as shit to me. Yeah. Looking at it like, oh man, how cool is that? Like, that's like, hey man, we scheduled Run DMC to come on next week, and then they show up, and their agent, sees the picture on the wall, or the Murder the Crow doll, or whatever it might be, and was like, nope, not going to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sorry, thank you anyway.
I've offended better people.
I think you've offended pretty much all people, Pat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I've gone way up there.
Well, but anyways, other artists that I have, there's a lot of great bands out there. Like I said, I've been promoting a lot of bands. I got, I would say, hundreds of artists that are involved in the network. There's no real like signing up or a membership fee or not yet, and all that kind of stuff. It just get involved. Support the other bands, networking at some of my events. Basically trying to reunite, like I said, the music scene. And the award show has been very successful doing that and everything else, but. I also networking. I run into all these, different people, like I'm sure yourself, and some of them have the same ideas, or they like my ideas, or the concept of what I'm trying to do, and so I've been doing that for like 10, 11 years now. Basically booking shows and getting shows and clients and awards, and so now I kind of last year took a little break and was like, okay, now what? Because I kind of
have you gone or taken advantage of the social networking, of social media and such?
Well, of course. I mean, as soon as
because obviously that was a huge thing coming out of the '80s and the '90s, and then booming.
Actually, I didn't even get involved in Facebook till like about 2007, believe it or not, because I wasn't very computer literate, and the roommate that I moved in with, it was a sound tech. John Tech was his name. He basically was the computer and web guy for Boomers nightclub, and so we ended up buddying up, and I ended up moving in with him, and he helped me with website and social media, and he started getting me all into that because, as you said, that started exploding, and now it's a very integral part of what I do because obviously everybody's on there, and so it helps me push shows and bands and concepts, and then
opens up revenue opportunities too.
Of course,
not in everything,
and that's what I was saying with the artists, now coming together, and I thought, okay, what next? What can I do, to keep this fire going, to keep the people interested? I know a lot of people have kind of fallen off, the train, and then they get back on a little later on, and if I got something going on they want to be a part of. And now I got too many artists to try to please, so I'm constantly looking for new venues, which is where the artists or the fans could come into play, because if they hear of a venue looking for bands or somebody,
come up here. We got Venom, Verona. We got all kinds of things going on.
My point is that everybody needs an entertainment consultant or entertainment director in their bar. If they don't have one, they need one.
I want one, and I don't even have a bar.
And a lot of bars, they just, like I said, they'll use Bobby and Sue and their buddy and whoever, and they don't know what's going on. And the bands, once a band gets in there and they get a good band, and they, wow, you guys are great. If I only had like 3 or 4 or more, you got any other bands you can recommend? And then, of course, the artists that want to help and networking and help their buddies, and they recommend their buddies and so on and so forth. And then the band comes and they don't do nothing for the club. And where they're failing to understand is it may be a good band, and you respect them and they're your buddies, and you're trying to pass them a bone, but is it really the right band for that club? Is it really the right atmosphere? Do they really bring the right products?
Bottom line, is it going to make money?
Yeah, well, that's the bottom line for the owner. But there's also a lot of other issues that are involved, that come along with it. You've got to promote the show yourself as well. So does the club. The club should be promoting the bar. You should have patrons there. You hire a band to entertain them. If the band brings some people, that's the cherry on top. Fantastic. You did also your part. But the clubs, what they do now is, again, and everybody, you run into this a million times, they throw a Budweiser sign in the window, they throw a big blonde behind the bar, and they think they got a bar. And now, okay, I don't have anybody in here, so hey, let's hire a band. Maybe if I put a band in here, it would bring people. It would bring people. The key word, it being live entertainment, will bring people, not the band. The band's not going to market and advertise your club, because first of all, you've already cut them off at the knees by underbidding them and going, hey, would you do it for $400 instead of $500? So now you've just taken money out of their mouth, and now you expect them to go out of their way to promote your club and bring people. No, it's not how it works. So the concept, has been so thinned out and so watered down that nobody really knows what it takes to actually make a live venue successful. And this is where, like I said, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything, but I've perfected a lot of the ideas that I do, and they work, and I've proven it to many, many times over and over again.
Hey, you don't got to sell me, brother. You don't got to sell me on it. I believe it.
So I'm hoping that, now, as I said, I have to try to think of something more. What's still missing in the scene? So I come up with 2 concepts this year I'm trying to launch, and they're still kind of finishing development and stuff like that. I've been talking about them for a couple years now, and obviously one of them is a TV show about Florida's music scene. And I'm going to call it Florida Music TV, FMTV for short. We're finishing up a 3-minute trailer right now that will have 3 segments on it, and each segment will be about 7 minutes long, and it'll have different categories. One will be about running around, looking for bands, and looking for original acts. The second one will be featuring other things that go along with rock and roll, cars, bikes, beautiful women, things like that. And then our third segment is going to be about interviewing artists and backstage access and the whole behind the scenes type thing. So we'll have 3 different topics, And, you know, I'm doing things that will get the people involved. You know, like, you know, I'm going to have special guests on the third segment to interview people for, you know.
Get him that VIP
I'm there, man.
Right. You know, and then the cars and bikes. Obviously, I'm in the auto body business, and I've been, you know, painting cars and motorcycles and things like that.
I got one you can paint, yeah.
So, again, if I can generate some interest, you know, I got buddies that build hot rods. I build hot rods. I build everything from a Model A to a 57 Corvette. I mean, any year Mustang. I mean, I've done all kinds of restoration throughout my whole life. I got albums and albums full of before, during, and after stuff. So I want to try to create more revenue, different avenues to get people more involved as well in the, you know, not only the show, but the music scene itself. And then my second idea that I've been putting together for about 7-8 months now is the Florida Music Expo. And it's basically, I've already talked to a venue downtown St. Pete, and they're interested in doing it via, and what it's going to be is going to be an event that'll feature 50 different bands from 6 to 8 different genres in a 3-course period in 8 different venues downtown St. Pete.
You should combine it with the Tampa Gun Show.
There's a gun show right
now. The gun show,
heavy metal band.
The guns guys might start pulling the guns on the metalheads and shooting them.
Hey, speaking of guns, man, we got to take our first break right now because I got to pee like a racehorse.
Yes,
we'll talk more about this in a few minutes. We'll be right back with more of the Kevin Holly Show with Vic Lima, PJC Photography, Photos. My bad. PJC Photos. And Pat Shit Crazy. We'll be right back with more of the Kevin Holly Show. Pat Scat. If your mom's listening, you might want to tell her to turn this part off. Just throwing that out there.
You see it, you want it, it's almost in reach. But Jay won't let you touch it cause it's never been breached. You will never manhandle it cause Jay is a tease. He never gives it up, he never goes to his knees. It's so big, so rounded, so white. It's so hairy, it's so damn tight. You can't touch it, can't smell it, can't insert your meat. You'll never get that ass cause Jay stays on his feet. Rob wants Jay now, but he can't have him. Jay's crying, it's bleeding 2 roids or more. I want to get up in it and make Jay his whore. He won't share it, won't bear it, so he dares him to tear it. But Jay won't play, ain't nobody getting near it. Rob wants Jay now, but he can't have him. Suck his dick. His ass is in his face, but he can't stab it. Suck his dick. It's limp. Suck his dick. It's limp. Suck his dick. It's limp. Suck his dick. Breakdown. Driving that truck to rob. The dump truck. Chain on. One big ass dumpster. Suck his dick. It's limp. Suck his dick. It's limp. Suck his dick. It's limp. Suck Jay's dick. Rob wants Jay now, but he can't have him.
My name is Morgan Freeman, and you're listening to The Kevin Holly Show.
Well, you never quite forget the first tape you bought. Mom was naughty by nature back when OPP was hot. Who'd have thought that I could ever turn out this way? I'm blaming that rock, Mike D and MCA. Yeah, it was beasties on my mind pretty much all the time, till I started smoking pot and figured out about Sublime. Oh my God, I never wanted something so badly. I wanna learn to play guitar and sing just like Bradley. And the B-lines that never drop reminded me of hip-hop. I'm singing love in is what I got. Cause when the love it was gone, I learned to play the blues through Stevie Ray Vaughan. I needed music for all the ways it helped me feel, and now I'm loving my guitar the way the baby love to see it. Can you feel it? damn strings never sounded so appealing. Can you feel it? Yeah. I'm like, once you got the mic, you better sing like you believe. Well, like you believe. Like you believe. Like you believe.
Well, Bob Marley was the tune when little Jay was in the womb. My mom had put the headphones on her belly, feel me move. And every Jimi Hendrix riff, I'd give her a little kick, just to let her know to turn it up a little bit. And please, when I go up, can I sound like Police? That's what I was thinking while I'm praying on my knees. But now that I'm grown, I found a sound of my own. I'm in the studio now, and I feel like I'm home. So can you feel it?
Yeah. I'm like 6 damn strings never sounded so appealing. Can you feel it? Yeah. I'm like, once you got the mic, you better sing like you believe. Well, like you believe. Well, like you believe. Like you believe. Well, like you believe. Now my music's for shucks because these people don't believe in me. But I'm a fit to shove up before they hear the end of me. I'll be writing songs till the end of all eternity. I never went to college, man, my band was my fraternity. Never stick my nose in the shit that ain't concerning me. But I'll be the first to swing, man, if you're burning me. Every day you wait's just another day wasted. I'm so damn close, man, I can taste it. Well, can you feel it? Yeah. I'm like 6 damn strings, never sounded so appealing. Can you feel it? Yeah. I'm like, once you got the mic, you better sing like you believe. Well, like you believe. Well, like you believe. Like you believe. Well, like you believe. Like you believe in you. Like you. Like you believe in you. Like you. Like you believe.
Hey, Mr. Folly, go ahead. It's your show. What the hell?
Thanks.
First religion, then disease. What's next?
Yeah, we got the clap.
Next week when we don't show, you'll be happy.
I guess that's the point where we talk about my hemorrhoids, right?
Oh, Jesus, yeah, man. Let's take a look at him. Let's
inspect him. You can't see nothing. There's no fucking lights on in this place. What the hell, man?
Oh, dude, I got a great flashlight on this phone there.
Actually, hold on. I got this here.
Look at, why is everybody grabbing their cameras, man?
That's not my camera.
I'm not really going to show you my hemorrhoids, man.
Is that better?
Besides, no,
those are
right in my eye, man. It's right in my eye, man.
Let me throw in a little interesting piece here.
Pops, you didn't even know the lights were off, did you?
No.
When was the last time you had an interesting piece?
This guy, for 3 days, he's bleeding all over everything. And we got in my room, we got a chair that somebody scarfed it off away and stole it from the garbage man. You know, it's a recliner. He sits in my room, and so I'm looking there, and he's.
You looking where?
Come on, keep going. Please, this is great.
Tell the fucking story if you're going to tell it.
I mean, I'm getting more responses by listening to you guys laugh. Anyhow, he decides that he's going to protect the chair, you know, that they picked out of the garbage. And he takes this old embroidered cloth. He puts it there and he ruins it with his blood. He saves his whole chair.
Was he nude? I mean,
hey, you turkey. That piece of embroidery you got that you just ruined with your ass's blood. That's probably a freaking heirloom and somebody paid $4,000 for it or something.
I saved that old chair, though.
Well, we saved the old chair that they picked up out of the garbage. Although, it's got a spot that'll probably never ever come out of it.
Jesus. Were you menstruating? What the hell, man? Were you butt naked on the chair? I mean, what
He was in terrific pain with a sore ass bleeding like crazy.
Fucking hemorrhoid, man.
He was afraid.
You ever had a hemorrhoid rupture?
He was afraid.
No, while sitting on a chair outside.
You know what his biggest problem was? He was afraid he'd bleed to death that night and he wouldn't be able to get me up and fix me my grits in the morning for breakfast.
Aww. That
was his main concern.
So he pooped blood on a family heirloom.
No, I just made his grits at like 2 a.m. before I went to sleep.
Can I say hello to my boss? My boss is on there. Mike Tyree.
Mike Tyree.
Mike.
What's going on, Open Mike?
Open Mike. Love to hear Open Mike. Mike, he called in one time.
Oh, he's in the chat room.
Did he really?
No, that was
IRN,
that was Mike Peter.
No, that's Mike Peter.
Peter.
Yeah, Mike Tyree didn't call you. He doesn't know how to use a phone. He can run a podcast, but phones, they're tricky.
Right on.
Dude, I want to hear more about this poopy chair. Can it fit in the studio or what, man? A recliner? That sounds great. I'm sitting on a stool right now. And so is Jay. Hey, thank you.
Hey, I'm bleeding on this chair right now, just so you know.
That's your chair.
And I wouldn't have if you didn't tell me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no shit, right? Wow. This is Kevin Holly, host of The Kevin Holly Show on the IRN Internet Radio Network. I've got 2 Chihuahuas. I love women. One time I had a Corvette. I once pooped my pants on the 7th green at a golf course. I enjoy long walks on the beach. You should see my cockle shell collection. You are listening to the IRN Internet Radio Network. I have very impressive cockle shells.
Driving down the street, Uber people that he meets, fully loaded Nissan Leaf. That shit crazy.
Shot the zombie, but I did not shoot the little boy. I shot the zombie, but I did not shoot the little boy. Zombie come to Cincinnati Zoo to live his life out on display. That little boy was found not guilty for the killing of Harambe. For the killing of Harambe. But I say, shot Harambe, but I swear it was for self-defense. I shot Harambe, 'cause a little boy climbed over the fence. That's where I gotta stop. Because that's where... Wait.
This is Kevin Holly, and you are listening to the IRN Internet Radio Network. Listen to The Kevin Holly Show each week, featuring Jaybird and Pops. Who the hell are Jaybird and Pops, anyway?
Outside stuff is hot like a blood. Switch street, Long Street, in the picture store. Things see the language, which control. When it's not get so hard, only 2 dudes pow out. I hear summertime sounds well, this is out of my hometown. I was since I'm boys, where I can be found. Up and down the coast, checking out the spots that I love the most.
You are listening to the Kevin Holly Show. The Kevin Holly Show. The Kevin Holly Show.
More news, more talk, more fat girls. It's the Kevin Holly Show.
I want to be stereotyped. I want to be classified.
I wanna be stereotyped. I wanna be classified.
to be classified.
This podcast coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got a bags on my brown. And I'm the other color, so my colors think they have the authority to talk for the majority. Fuck that shit, cause I ain't the one for a homeless motherfucker with a mic and some puns to be beaten on. He's really pale, he can go blow Joe in the middle of a sale. Fucking with me, cause I'm a broadcaster. With a co-host who's drunk and plastered. Jay's sitting in his car, listening to a podcast, thinking every wigger is busting up podcast. You never see me in the pen or Pop's Jim Nall walking Chuck's dogs. Beat a podcast out of shape, and when I'm finished, bring the yellow tape to take off the scene of the slaughter and keep your homeless Chuck away from your daughter. I don't know if Jay's a fag or what, patting Kevin down and showing his nuts, and on the other hand, homeless Chuck, he never gets none, not from a black or a white woman, cause he falls down on the street top. Homeless Chuck solicits sex from a black cop. Jay-Bird will swarm on any motherfucker with a gold microphone. Just because I'm from Newport Richie, punk podcasts are afraid of me. A young wigger on a warpath. And when I'm finished, it's gonna be my podcast with Pops, Homeless Chuck, and Jay. Yo, Jay, I got something to say. Fuck this podcast. Fuck this podcast. Fuck this podcast. Fuck this podcast. Yeah, fuck this podcast. Fuck you, Kevin. Fuck you, Jay. Fuck you, homeless Chuck. What's up, Pops? Yeah. What's up, Pops? Yeah. Fuck this podcast.
Everybody, get ready. Tomorrow, November 17th, 2015, it's the Kevin Holly Show, live from 8 to 11. It's Wednesday. And if you call in tomorrow, you can speak to a live Syrian refugee just recently transplanted from the middle of who hell knows where. And you can call us at 727-657-3686. And you too can speak to him and ask questions that everybody in America's dying to know right now on the Kevin Holly Show, because we bring it, and we bring it real.
Right here in the rain and no one just don't see it right. I always go out, I never hide, but I still stay inside. Good morning, honey. You like it on bread? Come and see me again. Good morning, honey. You like it on bread? Come and see me again. Justify my love for you, and I know it runs deep through your body too. From the cold black top to the hot concrete, the old tin bed, it ain't so sweet. Good morning, honey. You like it on bread? Come and see me again. Good morning, honey. You like it on bread? Come and see me again. Sad night, and we were far from home, but you know it's gonna be alright. Unfortunately, afraid about vultures' eyes, 86 cents in the pockets of mine, and you can take my money, you can take my time, but you can't take my heart into the city behind. Good morning, honey. You like it on bread? Come see me again. Good morning, honey. You like it on bread? Come see me again.
person is the whole problem. Are we going to allow this guy to be heard by anyone who can turn a dial?
Got a pirate radio station. Nobody knows who he is.
You out there? You listening?
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second hour of the Kevin Holly Show. And we've got Vic Lima in the house. We got PJC Photos in the house. And Patrick Crazy. And we're about to do something that I love. It's one of my favorite things. Now, I know, Vic, it was the Vic show for the first segment, which is fine with me, because I've been planning on having Vic in this studio for a long time, for months. The guy is full of information and supports...
All right.
Oh, hell yeah, you're full of it. And, you know, supporting the local music scene is huge to me, but I'm going to rein you in right now. I'm going to grab your attention. I'm going to grab the attention of the crowd, and we're going to do one of my favorite segments. PJ, if you don't mind hitting that button up there, turn that AC off. I know it's hot in here. It's getting hot in here. I want to play Nelly so bad. The Band-Aid guy, I freaking love him, dude. But before I do, I'll just scat real quick. My impersonation of David Lee Roth. Here we go. I fucked that up. It was too quiet, dude. Obviously not me. But anyway, we're going to play my favorite game. Now, it used to be the Pyramid Game. That was my favorite game. We may not have time for the Pyramid Game tonight, but we do have time for the No Trump Game.
Hello. You people know a lot about trucks. Bing, bing, bong. Thank you very much.
Oh, you touch my tra-la-la.
Are you guys ready? I'm ready.
Bing, bing, bing.
Pat, are you ready?
Born ready.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bong. Bing, 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 bong, bong, bong.
You got your Dom ready, Pat? I played this on the keyboard. All right.
Hello. You people know a lot about trucks.
All right. Turn it off. Oh my gosh. Pat, I don't think we've done this yet. Trump Train.
Trump Train.
There you go, Pat. That's for you, Pat.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, so this is a game where we guess who said the quote. Was it Donald Trump or said celebrity? And we've all got our cards. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Pat's going to go first. Pat, who you
It's my favorite game. And I don't have to think of anything like I do with the other one.
Yeah, please don't think.
You gave me 4 cards.
Okay, here's a fifth card.
No. Am I only supposed to have... I thought we were going to do 3 each.
No, we'll do as many as we can.
Okay.
Whatever. All right, Pat, you're going first. Who are you quizzing? Who are you quizzing?
Ooh.
Who are you quizzing, Pat?
Can it... Okay, it's got to be... Okay, you got to be an interview. Okay,
Vic?
Vic, yes.
All right, Vic, are you ready?
Yes, what's up?
30 seconds on the board. You're about to go down.
So I'm going to give you... Okay, is this Trump or Frank Sinatra? The best revenge is massive success. Is that Trump or Frank Sinatra?
Trump.
Final answer?
Yes.
That would be Frank Sinatra.
Oh, really?
It's not as easy as you think, especially when we get into Hitler. I can say that joke. I'm a Trump supporter.
No. Okay.
Okay. Wow. Pat, you really fucked that one up.
I thought that was a good one.
I almost said Frank, but...
So this is going to go in the note
true.
file.
That's the best revenge, huh?
You would just think, you've made you've prejudged the president based on, all the social media and the fake news, and you never thought that Sinatra could be anything.
Nitwit TV. Kurt got it right in the Trump in the Trump room, the chat room. Haas got it wrong. Alexandra got it wrong. Mike Peter got it right. Said the chairman. He didn't even say Sinatra. He just said the chairman.
Chairman.
Oh, all right. So next one. You ready, Vic? Here we go. 30 seconds.
Okay, is this Trump or Rodney Dangerfield? I haven't done this one. This is good.
Oh, I'm telling you. Hey, hold on.
Everything in life is luck. Is that Trump or Rodney Dangerfield?
Dangerfield.
That would be Donald Trump.
Wow, Vic. I'm sorry.
Dude. Damn it, man.
Rodney Dangerfield was his thing was the way my luck is running. If I was a politician, I would be honest.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. So you can sort of what I do. You look at both of them, and you pick which one you're going to say that you think might be a little more. I thought that would be easier. You'd probably pick Dangerfield with that. So.
All right. 0 for 2. Here we go.
Okay. Richard Nixon or Trump?
These are the hardest ones, man, because Nixon and Trump, they say the exact same thing, dude.
Happy New Year to all, including many enemies. Is that Richard Nixon or Trump? It's not an easy one.
Wow.
Say it again.
Happy New Year to all, including my many enemies.
That'd have to be Trump.
It was Trump.
All right.
Hey, all right. Good job.
Thank you.
1 out of 3, 2 left. All right, are we ready? Here you go, Vic.
What, 5 questions, is it?
Yeah, why not?
You got that one right.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this Ronald Reagan or President Trump? Okay, we the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. Is that Ronald Reagan or Donald Trump? We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us.
That's got to be Trump.
Ronald Reagan.
Damn.
Come on.
I suck at this too. Every week. And I'm like a biker for Trump, right? And every week I got like what? 1 out of 5 last time, Kevin?
Yeah, Pat, you suck.
I almost picked the other one. I almost picked the other one, but it just sounds like something Trump
I
would
know.
say, you know what I mean?
The one time I did good, I did the phone a friend thing, and I called the founder of Boots on the Ground Bikers for Trump.
Okay,
George Colella, yeah.
George Colella, right?
The
So
Godfather.
I pulled a total,
Phone a friend. He calls the founder of Bikers for Trump, and I'm like, come on, that's cheating, man. You can't do that.
Yeah, I did really good on that one.
Yeah, well, you got that one right anyway. But okay, so in the chat room, everybody got Reagan. Except for Vic.
This one's going to be.
There we go.
This one's going to be tough. Is this Trump or Warren Buffett? Rule number 1: never lose money. Rule number 2: never forget rule number 1. And it's going to be a tough one. I mean, neither of them forgot rule number 2.
Yeah.
Rule number 1: never lose
Warren Buffett
money.
or Donald
Rule
Trump?
number 2,
I'm going to
never
go Warren Buffett.
Yeah, Warren Buffett.
I went Buffett too, man. Hell yeah.
Man,
You got it.
2 for 3.
There you go.
Was it?
Yep.
Damn it, man.
Everybody in the chat got Buffett. Nitwit, Haas. All right.
Sounds like
That wasn't an easy
story
one.
of my life. 2 out of 3.
You would expect like any billionaire to say that.
3 out of
Say it again
5.
for
2 out of
Alexandra in the
5.
chat. That question again, just so she knows. Oh, I got a request.
Rule number 1: never lose money. Rule number 2: never forget rule number 1.
Rule number 3: we don't talk about rule number 1 or number 2. Well, I'll talk about number 2 a lot, but. All right, last question. Here we go.
No, that was the last question. That's 3 out of. He got 3 out of 2. He got 3 right, 2 wrong. That's 5.
All right, so you got 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 5?
He got 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
Yeah, I was gonna
Currently
say.
in first place. Vic.
Well, you never know.
Currently in first place.
You never know. I won't say nothing about the NFL games lately, but
Oh,
you never know.
The championship game was a joke.
You
both of
never
them.
know.
All right. I'm going to go
All right,
next.
there
If
you
that's
go.
cool.
All right, yeah, sure.
All right, this way you'll be a seasoned pro when it's your turn.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and quiz Bergie.
Okay, sounds
because I love grilling him, dude, and he just fails miserably. I'm hoping I
do.
shut him out. I want to be like Bannerman, the goalie from the Blackhawks back in the 80s. Bannerman with the save. It's a slit save if he's female. Anyway, it's 2019. Here we go. Pat, are you ready? All right, this is either Snoop Dogg or President Trump.
Well, that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
I love them both equally.
Hillary is so smart, tough, and a very nice person. Snoop Dogg or Donald Trump, Hillary is smart, tough, and a very nice
It's got to be
person.
Trump. Snoop Dogg would never say that.
You got it, dude. That was Trump all day long.
Although he is hawking like generic Viagra right now, so I don't know. He might say something like that.
Snoop's quote was, "Britney would make a better prostitute than Christina. She's thicker." So yeah,
Trump could have said that, though.
I guess.
I see. See, it's not always that easy.
If it was Snoop, I would have thought he would say she thicker, not she's thicker. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Like, she thicker, dog. You know what I mean?
She thicker, dog.
Thick,
She
dog.
thick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
D-O-double-G.
All right, next one, Pat. 1 for 1. Wow. You actually got one right.
I've broken my own record.
All right, next one. Either Jimmy Carter, nice guy, or President Trump. Probably the worst president we ever had, Jimmy Carter.
Mm-hmm. No, well, he builds a nice home.
Okay. Jimmy Carter or President Trump. How stupid are the people of Iowa? Trump or Carter? How stupid are the people of Iowa?
I could see Carter saying that, but he's a religious man. I'm going with Trump.
You would be right. That's, how stupid are the people
like a
of Iowa?
religious man. Trump would let that one
I think they pulled
go.
that off of like the TV show or something.
I was going to say, when did he say that?
Yeah, I know, right?
No, I'm thinking he said that when he left Iowa. He lost, those assholes.
Jimmy Carter's quote was, my esteem in this country has gone up substantially. It is very nice now that when people wave at me, they use all of their fingers.
That could have been Trump, but no, I guess not yet.
All right.
That'll be Trump in 8 years.
2 for 2, Pat.
Uh-oh. All right.
That's kind of crazy. If you win, if you get 5 out of 5, you get to spin the wheel of death.
What?
Yeah, whoever wins.
Isn't the Kevin Halley show...
spin something.
Yeah, you just might. If Pat doesn't get any more, you tie.
That's true.
Is the Kevin Halley show paying for a trip to Mar-a-Lago for a weekend?
Absolutely, yeah. Uber, all the way there.
I mean, the weekend at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
It would be, not the Uber there.
No, I will Uber
That would
you
be
there.
the cheap part of it.
I'll Uber you there, personally.
You're going to Uber me, drop me off the gate.
Yeah, have fun. Climb that gate. Build that wall.
Build that wall. Tear down that wall. I want in.
There you go. All right. Okay, here we go. Next question, Pat. Here we go. This is either President Donald J. Trump or George Washington.
Two great men.
I'm a negotiator like you folks. I'm a negotiator like you folks.
It's got to be Trump. That was an easy one right there.
I'm throwing you softballs, man.
Washington was more of a shoot first, ask questions later type negotiator.
I guess.
You mean I didn't do it?
Everybody got that.
Okay, George.
Nitwick got it. Alexander got it.
Yeah, that was a slow pitch right there.
The only person that didn't get that was Stan. I don't know why. He still says Snoop. He says Snoop for every answer. I don't know.
Maybe he's got a little more. Snoop's got.
He's going to get it right.
Pat currently in the lead.
One of these times.
Question number 4, Pat. Here we go. This is either President Donald J. Trump or President Ronald Reagan.
Oh, shit. That's going to be tough.
I've always thought about the issue of nuclear war. It is a very important element in my thought process. It's the ultimate catastrophe. I'll say it again. Either Donald Trump or Ronald Reagan. I've always thought about the issue of nuclear war. It is a very important element in my thought process. It's the ultimate catastrophe.
I'm going to go with Trump because in his later time, Ronald Reagan wasn't doing much with his thought processing. So,
and you would be correct. Trump, you're 4 out of 4.
That's going to cost me.
That's true, dude. If you win this 5 out of 5, man, you're spinning the wheel of death. I might just lie about the answer to make you win, dude, just so you spin it. Oh, shit. We haven't even done the box of death
anything. Yet. That doesn't happen.
Oh, I will. I'll spin it to win it.
Yes.
All right, last question, Pat Berge. Here we go. Trump, no Trump. Here we go. It's either President Donald J. Trump or, once again, Jimmy Carter. I'll tell you one thing. This is a very good-looking group of people here. Could I just go around so I know who the hell I'm talking to? Trump or Carter, I'll tell you one thing. This is a very good-looking group of people here. Could I just go around the room so I know who the hell I'm talking to?
He said hell.
In this quote, yes.
Trump.
Wow.
Again, Pastor Carter would not have said L. That was a...
Oops, my bad. No, that was right.
Well, if it was peanuts, anybody want any peanuts?
If it was,
that might have been Carter.
If it was heck, I would have gone with Carter.
Right.
Hell was like, oh hell no, that's true.
Carter's actual quote was, "I've looked on many women with lust. I've committed adultery in my heart many times." I could have thrown you off the wagon on that one. You would have said Trump on that, I bet you.
Not if it was Snoop on the other end.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I would have been off that wagon.
So, Pat, 5 out of 5, bro. Very, very good. You know, before we get to me...
No, we don't do... No, there's never been that rule. There's never been anything
There is
like
tonight. We've got the Wheel of Death.
Uh-oh.
And we've got... how do I get this paper out of here? The paper inside the Wheel of Death... How do I open this thing? There we go. Let me pull the paper out. Every number... in this Wheel of Death...
Are those edible?
No, don't eat these. Yeah, please don't eat these.
I was going to say, I'll take one of the gumballs.
Here, put this on the table. Gently roll it and pick a number when it comes out. There it is. That's good. There you go, because it'll make a mess.
Oh, it's a little lottery thing.
Yeah,
here.
pull out that number. Tell me what the letter and number is.
There will be no wagering.
Now, look, I've got a real list. I will be looking off of it. Okay, no lying. The Wheel of Death, Pat. Come on here. Spin the wheel. What do we got?
Oh, it's a bingo thing.
Yeah. What is it?
I-17.
Perfect.
I-17.
There's actually 2 for this.
There we go. You got to let me say it twice.
The only thing PJ said all night is bingo. All right, Pat. You have your choice.
He's a PJ?
Yeah.
I didn't even put that together.
You've got your choice.
His brother's a PJ.
You can either get tased or twerk on Facebook Live.
Or shove this up
Eat
your
this
nostril.
I think you should get tased.
I think shoving this up your left nostril is the way I'm going to go.
I think it's time to tase Pat. Yeah, I'm going to just
time not to.
Yeah, here, hold the bell.
Oh, did you realize how poorly that would end for you?
Stop looking at my dick and hold the bell.
I'm not touching the damn bell.
All right, well, I'm going to have to tase your watch, man.
I'm not, dude, if you even fucking remotely touched me with that, I swear to God, I would punch you in the nose.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You're in twerk right now.
I would just be like, zap, boom. And you would be cool with that because you would have been known.
It's the game, Pat. You signed up for this. You signed a waiver.
There was nothing in there.
Either twerk or get tased, or twerk while getting tased. Your choice.
Well, no, it's your choice.
You fucking
bloody
won.
Nose, no bloody nose. Don't fucking touch me with that zapper.
If I take the bloody nose like a strawberry shortcake, can I tase you first?
Yeah, it's going to require. It's going to be a full strawberry shortcake, buddy.
Come on, Pat. Just let me tase you. Whoa, you almost tased yourself.
No, that's ridiculous.
All right. All right. Oh, it's so weak, dude. It doesn't even fucking work, man.
Tase your own damn self.
All right, I will. I will tase myself. In honor of Pat Shit Crazy.
Did you notice he turned the knob all the way down?
Yeah, really? Wait a second. If I win, shouldn't I be the one that decides? If I win, shouldn't I be the one that decides? You got to tase yourself. I'm not going to tase you.
Me. Please tase me.
No.
Come on.
Please tase.
I won't do it.
Just tase me, man.
I won't do it.
Just tase me, bro.
I want you to do it.
Just tase me, bro.
No.
Come on.
Don't tase me, bro.
Won't do it.
Do you want to play Taser Hop?
Don't tase me, bro.
Vic, will you tase me?
No.
Come on, PJ, come tase me. Somebody tase me. Oh, you guys suck. I'm wanting to get tased for the first time in my life. I'll tase myself. Are you ready?
Ready, go.
All right, here we go. I'm going to hit my watch so I don't feel it. Or it'll be amplified and it'll go through my metal fillings in my teeth.
Hit your keychain and see what happens from a scientific
That's too
perspective.
close to my junk, man. I'll just tase myself, man. Oh, fuck. All right, that was fun.
You didn't even touch yourself.
I touched myself.
You didn't do that. You just popped it when it got close.
That was early.
And really, the battery's pretty much dead. I barely felt it.
Touch it to your keychain. There would be a scientific value to that.
Okay. I mean, I don't think it's really going to do anything. The battery's dead. I just tased my arm. And
wait, no, it might screw up your car thing.
Oh, that's true. I'll tase the bell. Ooh, that was a little bit different, man. That was a little loud. All right, put it away.
Ring my bell.
Let's make sure it's all right. Wow. All right. So who's next, man? I got. Who's got cards left? Pat.
I have
no.
Vic does.
I have.
All right. Well, I'm ready if you're ready.
Okay. So to you.
Sure. Or anybody you want.
Yeah, that's fine. To Kevin.
This is a fun game, though, isn't it?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Anytime you get tased in the
I'm
balls.
enjoying myself. I don't like card games, but this is funny.
All right, you're on the spot. Let's do it.
Alrighty, who said this? Kinky Friedman or Trump? Money can buy you a fine dog, but only love can make his wag his tail.
I'm going with Kiki whoever.
Yeah, Friedman.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Woo!
Damn.
Yeah. I've pre-read
It's
all
a little
these.
too sappy for my boy Trump.
All right.
Yeah, Trump's was, money is a little bit of a scorecard, but I don't do it for the money. I do it because I enjoy it. I love the creative process.
See, that might have been a difficult one to have gotten between the two right there.
Yes, I should have picked a harder question. All right, number
Here we
2.
go.
Oh, yeah, this is really good.
All right.
Between Trump or Tupac Shakur.
Oh, I'm an expert on Tupac Shakur. I tased him once. Right in the Thug Life tattoo.
There have been many bad things said about me over the years, and in some cases, they're true.
See, you're screwed on
Tupac
that
or Trump?
That's clearly could be both.
I'm not going Tupac because he would have said it more melodically. I'm going, like, he would have used more beautiful words. Even though Trump has the best words, I'm going Trump on this.
You got it.
Woo!
Ah, man.
I would have always
Yeah,
gone with
Tupac was a little more
Tupac.
simpler. He said, I'm a reflection of the community.
Well, Trump could have said that, considering where he grew up.
That's true, too, but...
Pretty nice community.
I suppose.
Man, you guys are killing me.
Irene got it wrong. Alexandra got it wrong. Nitwit got it right. Don't chip the chip. All right, here we go.
Don't
All right,
chip
here we
the
go.
chip, Chippy.
Hugh Hefner or Trump?
These ones are tough.
Yeah.
We've had these before.
With the proper woman, you don't need Viagra.
Oh, God. Trump all day.
That was too simple, wasn't it? Yeah, Hefner's was mine is an open book with illustrations.
How could that have been easy?
Wow.
Holy crap.
No, I can't believe you got that.
That could have easily have
Because
been.
they didn't have Viagra back when Hef was in his
Are you
prime,
kidding me?
dude.
Why? How are you still doing it? I mean,
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
It
He's probably
is
still
back
doing
in
it,
the
and
day,
he's dead.
Yeah, but
Hey, dude, you're using your cell phone and flashlight to illuminate the cards?
no, I can't.
feel
I
like I'm
can't
at an
see.
open mic and it's my time's up.
I can't see how to bring my specs with me, so here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, this is too easy, this comment. But let's see. Between Trump or Richard Nixon?
Oh.
Again, impossible.
Not if I said the one line.
Don't make it easy.
Here we go. No,
Okay.
no.
If I win, I spin the wheel.
I am not a crook.
My company is so unimportant to me relative to what I'm doing because I don't need the money. I don't need anything. And by the way, I'm very under leveraged. I have a small percentage of money in debt.
Ooh, man, that's actually kind of tough because you want to say Trump because he's a businessman and a mogul of sorts, but you also want to say Nixon because Nixon was trying to clear his name, his whole
Yeah, but he didn't have any
impeachment.
money.
Well, he had enough when he was the president, you know. Man, I really want to
Comparatively
win.
speaking, he was like a broke.
Yeah, I really.
I won't.
Pump the
He's
brakes.
like, are we gonna?
Pump the brakes.
No, see, that's not me. I'm not the bad one.
I'm gonna go with. Wait a minute. I'm gonna phone a friend. Hold on. I'm gonna phone a friend on this one.
Call George.
No, I'm not gonna call George. Although that would really.
My company is so unimportant to me and relative to what I'm doing because I don't need the money.
See, I don't know if he had a company or not.
I'm gonna call the Satan himself. Satan, are you there? I want to know if this is Trump or Nixon. Could you say the question again, please, Vic?
Yes, ask Nixon while you're there.
My company is so unimportant to me and relative to what I'm doing because I don't need the money. I don't need anything. And by the way, I'm very under leveraged. I have a small percentage of my money in debt.
I'm gonna go with Trump.
Yes, you are correct.
Oh, woo! Hell yeah!
All right, one more. Here we go.
time, Vic. We're live. Take your time.
Can't see crap.
America has never been united by blood or birth or soil. Is that Trump or George W. Bush?
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I know.
I'm going Bush.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm right.
I like how you think.
Yeah.
That was a great analogy. That was
5 out of 5. Wait. Oh, son of a bitch. I got to spin the wheel of death,
got
man.
the wheel of
Gotta tease himself now.
All right, here we go. Hold on. I got this. It's on the floor.
Ooh, why are you down there? What? Oh, God!
I'm good.
Why are you down there, sailor? Any port in a storm.
All right, I'm good, man. I got, what is this?
That's too bad he had this camera turned around earlier that would have probably caught that.
All right, I got I-28. Let me look on the wheel of death here. I-28. Oh, fuck. It's get tased or takes pot piss test.
I'd take a fucking taser on that one if I were you.
I'm not going to... I do have a piss.
I think that's ridiculous. When did you come up with this idea?
Hey, I come up with new stuff all the time. I'm full of them, dude. All right, I'll pee on it right now. I got an at-home marijuana drug test right here.
Well, how do you do it during the break and
Sealed
bring
in
the
the box.
results back?
All right, I'll do it during the break. We'll come
People
back.
can get the fake news when you come
Thank you, Vic. Thank you, PJ. Thank you, Pat. We'll be right back with the final segment of the Kevin Ollie Show. Thank you, Trump. And I'll take a pee test in the bathroom. We'll be right back. I should play the... Bing, bong, bong. No, we're not on break yet. All right, that's the... It's so stupid, dude. All right, let me go ahead and play the break music. We got this break music is from episode 104. I don't even know what it is. Who cares? We'll be right back with more of the Kevin Ollie Show.
Play 152.
Hi, this is Lisa London, and you are listening to the Kevin Ollie Show.
That I lack and the willpower that I need to set me free. can say is trucker Kathy isn't gay. She likes driving trucks across the country. And all I can do is make a brand new song for her. And then she'll have dinner at Ruby Tuesday. Ruby Tuesday. And all I can say is trucker Kathy isn't gay. Hopefully she'll listen again someday. Listen someday. Listen someday. Listen someday. This is Kevin Holly, host of The Kevin Holly Show, live on the IRN Internet Radio Network. One time I fell down the stairs. I know somebody who actually put a cat in their freezer. I have 2 guinea pigs. I have a goldfish that's 5 years old. I have a huge suckerfish. It's a Plico clitoris. You are listening to the IRN Internet Radio Network. The Kevin Holly Show, live on the IRN Internet Radio Network. Swimming out to Southfield. Living is heating like you. Well, to swim electric eels. Swimming out to Yosemite Seal. Got to keep me even keel. Swimming out to in between meals. Let's all break it down in here. Swimming out.
Oh man, this is Robert Wright. ROBERT WRIGHT.
Tell me what happened, Rob.
Oh man, it all went down, man. I stayed right next door, man, from the thing that happened, man, the barbecue, man. I was barbecuing, man. I seen some fire just come out the window, man. The window busted out, man. Only thing I think first, man, make sure them ribs is right. And ran them and got my family, man. Brung everybody out safely, man. I carry everybody out myself, man. You know what I mean? And keep this PG, everybody myself, man. I did that. Feel me?
You got kids and older people out there?
Yeah, I got my kids first day. I got my kids, and I thought about my ribs. Like, I ain't want to let my ribs burn and stuff, because I take pride in what I do, man. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was hungry, man. I was like, man, put them ribs on there, man. Some hot links and stuff, man. We got it going and stuff. But I looked over, man. The fire was bursting out, man. I was like, man, this is crazy, man. Real crazy, man. Let me get my kids about this situation, man. That's all I know. You feel me? And I'm from the Bay Area, man. You know I'm located in the Bay Area. You feel me? Out here now, but yeah, I'm from the Bay, man. They call me West Oakland, man. You know, but I'm gonna keep things going, man. Keep going, you know. But it was frantic, man. It was real serious out there, man. It was real serious, man. But yeah, man. Enjoy this barbecue, though, man. Have a good night, man. Hopefully they put us in a motel, man. You know what I mean? Because I ain't trying to come out the pockets. They owe me for that one. You feel me?
Did you get injuries yourself?
Did I get any injuries? Yeah. Oh, no, I ain't get no injuries and stuff except for all the smoke in my lungs and stuff. I already had smoke in my lungs, so I'm all right.
He already had smoke in his lungs, so he's all right.
That's outstanding, man. I tell you, I have so much I want to say about this right now. The first thing I'd like to say, folks, if you don't remember, we're coming to you from the Kevin Holly Show, okay? It's KEVINHOLLY. SHOW, it's a Kevin Holly Show. And they call me the West Coast Badass, dude. West Pasco Badass. I'm just telling you that right now. But this is outstanding. This is really good, man.
You feel me? Who wouldn't get those ribs? Those ribs look so good that you'd be a fool not to go back into a burning building to get...
Listen, I would fight a zombie for some good ribs, all right? I'd be like, all right, there's 30 zombies over there, and you can have your choice. There's gasoline and ammunition over there. I'd be like, dude, let's take them zombies out and get some ribs. That's good. Yeah. You know, that's good stuff right there, man.
I agree, man. I think that I'm wondering. Like, I have one question. You know, what were the ribs on the grill, on the balcony? Were they in the oven, or did the apartment fire actually cook the ribs? You know,
or did the ribs? Did cooking the ribs? Did that start the fire?
What did he say? Okay,
hey, let's say rib dinners matter, dude.
Rib dinners matter.
You have to say rib
dinners matter for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this guy should be guarded as a national hero.
Fellas,
I just had a thought, and I'm thinking about this as Jesse Jackson would. You know, Reverend Jesse Jackson.
I've heard of him before. Not real.
If he would have heard this story, you know what he would have said? He says, "Now that's a good father. He took his wife and kids out before he got to ribs."
That's because the ribs weren't done yet. You know, they were still cooking. Yeah. He was smoking the ribs.
I'll guarantee you, he turned the ribs over.
He's not only a good father, he's a good rib cooker too.
He turned the ribs over, got his kids.
He turned the ribs over, got his kids, ran them out, come back to the house.
It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Well,
his decision making, he should get quarterback.
Jesse Jackson would say,
"Where's our dump button? I want new Chuck. Where's old Chuck?
Yeah,
Chuck's not racist.
New Chuck, you might be. I don't know.
I hope
old Chuck.
I hope our deleting department. I hope our deleting editing department can correct my grammar there.
That's not grammar.
That's it. That's slang.
My slur.
Oh, well, whatever.
That was horrible.
I'm highly offended.
I don't know if I can continue with this.
Let's not make an issue of it then.
Let's not make an issue.
Oh, man, this is Robert Wright. R-O-B-E-R-T.
Robert Wright's all right in my book.
I just want to say that the racist is P-O-P-S, Pops.
I used to be a nice guy, but now that I'm up, Chuck, no more of that shit. It's dog eat dog and dog eat dog. And don't give me no shit.
Kevin Holly Show. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Brown. How are you? Welcome back, everybody, to the final segment of the Kevin Holly Show. I'm going to bleed in quick here. Forget the rest of the break, man. We're live right now. It's 10:30. Our show's almost over. We've got Vic Lima from, what is it, the
Tampa Bay Music Network.
Thank you, sir. We've got PJ on the cameras back there, and we've got, not my brother PJ, but PJ from PJC Photos. Fuck yeah. And we got Pat Shit Crazy making some coffee out in the hallway out there. And I want to get into something really quick here that is important to me and important to the community. Now, you all know that the Kevin Holly Show supports local music and local comedians. And I want to tease something that I'm going to be putting out there probably tomorrow night, latest by Friday. And it's an interview that I did with a famous comedian named Lindsay Glazier. Which I got the exclusive interview with her last night, pre-recorded off the air, that I'm going to feature separately for you guys to be able to download it on demand, listen on demand, stream it, whatever you want. But a fantastic interview. This young lady, beautiful, beautiful woman, comedian that was involved with Scottie Pippen, of all people, the famous Chicago Bulls basketball player. Well, her house was damaged during Hurricane Irma, and the insurance that she had paid to relocate her while they repaired her house. So she ended up, because they're fairly well-to-do, you know, they paid to have her rent a comparable home in a comparable neighborhood. Just so happened to be only a few houses on the market, one of which was Scottie Pippen's mansion.
Wow.
So, yeah. Well, Scottie Pippen assumed that, because her last name is Glazier, that she was involved with the Glazier family that owns the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I made that same mistake.
So, she got sued. It's public record. Scottie Pippen's crew sued Lindsay Glazier, saying that she trashed the house, stole Cuisinart knives out of the kitchen. Dude, you buy that at Walmart. You know what I mean? It's like the most ridiculous thing to me, you know?
Right.
So she's handling it very well. Jim Rome, of all people, sort of broke the story on his show. You know, Rome is Burning, whatever they call it. The ESPN guy, you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
And the funniest part about it, and the reason that I was so intrigued, was she made a statement that said, if I was from the Glazier family that owns the Buccaneers, I wouldn't be renting from Scottie Pippen. I'd be renting from Michael Jordan, you know? And I thought that was so funny. Yeah, you know, that just made me laugh so hard. So I was already friends with her on Facebook because of the community, you know what I mean? She's a South Florida, Tampa, St. Pete, Sunrise, Miami, Fort Lauderdale type comic. And she's cute. Yeah, she's beautiful. So I reached out to her and asked her for an interview, and she was like, sure. And, dude, check this out, man. Not only did she agree to do the interview, but she was like, I'll comp tickets. Come out to, what is it, out there in Pamfackenhaba. Not Coconuts, not Side Splitters. The other one out there on 19 in Palm Harbor. Oh, my God. How am I forgetting the name of
Snappers?
The Snappers, yes.
It's right next to Snappers. Snappers is the bar.
Yeah, next to it. The comedy club. Yeah. So she was performing there, and she's like, you know, I'm close. But it was a Friday night. I had my children. I couldn't make it, you know. So instead, we did a phoner. So that will be broke on the Kevin Holly Show probably tomorrow night or Friday. So look for that. I will promote it on social media so y'all can follow it and check it out. Lindsay Glazier, an awesome, awesome person, man. The alpha bitch. Self-proclaimed alpha bitch, man. Powerful comedian. She's like, dude, she's so cool. She's like, you don't have to try to be somebody else. You don't have to, like, just be who you are. You know what I mean? The interview is great. I cannot wait to edit it and make it beautiful so you can kind of get, like, in her head a little bit. You know what I mean? But that being said, also, I want to segue from that, the comedy aspect of it, Vic. You know, you support original music, local talent. We do as well, not nearly on the same caliber as you, but we're very involved in it. And something happened. I want to say it was yesterday or the day before. There's a building in Holiday, Florida, which is about 6 or 8 lights south of us here in the Dunk Tower in Newport Richie, you know, south of here on 19. The Holiday Tower.
The good side.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pat. Let me turn your mic on. I got the wrong one.
That's the good side of the tracks.
Yeah, sure. Well, the tracks was in Tarpon Springs, but that's over. You know, we won't talk about the tracks, man. But that building, the Holiday Tower, the gentleman that owns that building also owns the Comedy Hall of Fame, the National Comedy Hall of Fame. Now, it started, I want to say, back in like 1989.
Like the real one?
Yeah.
Like, where is that?
Well, it was in '89. I want to say it was somewhere in like Ohio or something like that. But then it became.
What is it, in an RV?
No, don't even go there right now, Pat. We don't have time for that, Pat. We don't have time for that. I'll do it. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
So
that's the only thing you can use the Shadow Net
for fuck's sake, man.
button for is the RV situation.
Anyway, the Comedy Hall of Fame was, after like 1989, became a traveling exhibit, and they went all over the country. Well, this gentleman happens to own the tallest building in Pasco County, the Holiday Tower. It's like a 6-story building right there on 19. Darlington and 19.
That's the biggest one.
I know, right? And we're in Dump Tower on the 3rd floor. We're in the
on
fucking
the penthouse
Yeah.
floor right
Get out of my head. Stop looking at my dick, too. So anyway.
It's shiny.
I'm sorry. It's chipped. It's got a chipped helmet. Anyway, so I'll tell you about that after the show, Vic. Anyway.
No thanks.
They're moving the Comedy Hall of Fame to the Holiday Tower. And not only that, they're opening up a comedy club and an escape room.
They've already got the escape room there.
Yeah, but it's going to be comedy based. So basically, you'll get locked in the escape room and you'll just be pounded with the Kevin Holly Show over and over, and you can't
Jesus.
escape. Yeah, you won't be able to get out. It'll be terrible.
Oh, Jesus. That's a violation of Geneva Convention.
So I'm thinking about like
scared. Someone's gonna pay. Yeah, I guess they'll pay to get out. $5 in,
this might be a
$50
new
to
idea.
get out. I'll pay it.
Hey, how cool is that? The National Comedy Hall of Fame is coming to Pasco
right here.
County.
Yeah, right here in Holiday.
Bro, that is, to me, that is huge, man. So, and then there's going to be a comedy club in Holiday. How awesome is that? You know, you've got a couple of places here like Lonzolo's in Trinity, Longleaf. You've got Venom does a comedy show night, like an open mic. That's it. You don't have much in Pasco County. You've got to go to Pokey's or the Iberian Rooster in St. Pete. Now,
glad to see they're doing some like a beautification of that neighborhood.
Hell yeah. Do you know who lived right there?
It's a very, I lived there.
Well, no, I'm talking about specifically right there at Darlington and 19, the 9th home down on the right. When you pull down Darlington, I rented that house. That's where I met my ex-wife, and I lived there. Guess who lived 2 doors down from me, and I never even knew it? Medicine Man still lives there. Yeah, Medicine Man lives right there. So you know what's going to happen? He's going to be riding his bike up to the comedy club, and he's going to be like, hey, I love coming up here, you guys. You know, I figured I'd come up here. Maybe I could carry the microphones out to your truck. You know, I love Louis C.K. is going to be in Pampack and Habba. I don't know, man. But how cool is that? It's like everything's come together. Pasco County is getting the Comedy Hall of Fame. So proud, man. So
when is that happening?
Soon, Pat. It's on the schedule.
Did you just violate a sacred?
No, I'm
silent trust thing.
Never.
They're already in there, ready to go.
The guy owns the building, Pat. He owns that building.
Really?
Yes. It's his building. Okay. The escape room. I'm going to lock you in there.
He needs to do something with the bathrooms on the 2nd floor.
Okay. Escape from the bathrooms.
You want to escape? I was going to say, well, they're that bad. You want to escape from them?
Oh, I've got a key to it.
Oh.
Yeah, Pat used to be an Uber driver, and he had a Nissan Leaf, an electric car, the gayest car ever made. And now he drives a Harley, rides a Harley, drives it, rides it, looks at it, sits on it. Yeah, you know, when I pulled into the Dump Tower today, he was sitting on his Harley in the parking lot, just waiting for me.
My good friend Fred Taylor, who is a 3-time Purple Heart recipient, he had an office until January 1st in that building. So literally, when I say,
is that office vacant now?
It is vacant now.
So maybe the Kevin Holly Show should move there.
Ago.
Oh, we'd be right above the comedy club.
It's
all the
cheaper
comics,
and bigger.
Be higher on
I'm not going to touch that one.
Bro, we could run the green room at the comedy club there. The Kevin Holly Show / green room for the Comedy Hall of Fame.
Be the fluff guys for the comedy.
No.
Comedic fluff guys.
No.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, you can do that. Where's my my taser. Hold on. Oh, that's ridiculous.
Can't get on the stage till you take care of
Fluff the artist.
Keep everybody
Fluff the comedian.
Keep them funny before.
You want to have big junk when you get on stage, so you impress the ladies, or the men.
No, it's a comedy fluffing, not junk
Oh,
fluffing.
so it's funny.
Get your mind out of the gutters.
Okay.
The comedy fluffers. You tell them jokes, and they laugh, and they come out there
Maybe
ready.
steal one of your jokes. I don't like that. Can I use that?
What kind of jokes are you going to tell them? Are you going to tell them something like along the lines of, what's the difference between Pygmy Village and a woman's track team? One's a bunch of cunning runts. Thank you. I'll be here all night. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe you should just stick to jerking them off.
Oh, fuck you.
Just saying.
Now you know why
Maybe the
band
comedy
didn't wanna come
fluff
on.
was a bad idea.
Yeah, that's why the band didn't want to be
Now you
here.
know why the band didn't want to come on here.
Oh, damn, my bad. I promised to be good, too.
So I took the piss test during the break. I pissed clean. Who would have thought,
Who would have thought?
Yeah, I pissed clean.
Fake news.
What? Do you want to taste it? Oh, you want a taste of it? Oh, faulty. I'm sorry.
That drug test was that drug test was brought to you by Marijuana Golf. So of course they all test negative.
MarijuanaGolf.com. Get your drug test.
Your negative drug test kit from MarijuanaGolf.com.
Type in the Kevin Holly Show at checkout and get $10 off a beautiful breathable golf polo with the Marijuana Golf logo on it and special request a picture of me in any position you want, autographed, and I'll even throw in a piss test.
A used piss test.
Yeah. Dude,
The date's expired on it.
Yeah. But it will probably still get you high.
It'll still read negative.
So nasty. Dude, I actually we had a host on the show called Homeless Chuck, and he's not on the show because
God rest his soul.
Oh man, no, he's still alive.
I'm sorry.
We had a game. We're gonna play it right now. Here we go. It's called the Box of Death. Vic, go ahead, feel around the Box of Death. Let me know what you think it is before you pull it out. What do you think it is?
Skeletons.
Pull it out. Same item. Oh, it's a knife, bro. It's a pirate
You
knife.
said no weapons in the Kevin Holly Show and no hookers.
I'm gonna need that.
You just they wanted to pat me down when I
I
came
don't
in
think
here.
it's allowed to have one of those, man. Oh my god, yeah.
Like only really 2 rules, and we
Sharpen
don't.
it on the floor, man. Yeah, it's cool, man.
I don't respect either. So
I had I placed here. I got right here. I placed a mousetrap in the Box of Death, and Homeless Chuck put his hand in there, and I put the taser live in there as well. And he was livid mad, and he slammed his hands down on the table and he left. Never came back.
Wow.
Now I'm still friends with Chuck, and we've gotten over it. You know what I mean? But the funny thing about it is when he came back, he sat in a couple more times, and he pulled out the piss test. And he was all excited about taking it. So during the break, I filmed him live on Facebook, and he went up to the urinal, and he filled up a cup, and then he dipped the little litmus thing in the cup, and he was drunk, and he's laughing, his head's like bobbling on his neck, and he's like, ah!
probably high.
Well, I don't know, but he was he was dipping the litmus paper for the pee test in the cup so deeply that his fingers got saturated, in his own pee, and he's like, and he pulled it out. It was dripping off his hand in his own urine, and I'm filming it, and I'm like, God, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
It came out
dude.
negative,
And
didn't
yeah,
it?
it came out negative, dude.
Shit, fake news.
Fake news, man. I couldn't believe it, So then I let him drive me home because he was sober, obviously. I'm just kidding. He doesn't drive. He had one of those breathalyzers in his minivan, you know what I mean? And one day, I used to be like a service manager for the porters and courtesy drivers for a prominent car dealership in Pasco, and I was test driving a vehicle for the mechanics because they don't get paid to test drive, so they would ask somebody to do it for them. And like, hey, at 5 miles, let me know what idiot lights come on. let me know the temperature, stuff like that. So I'd have a little log.
You were in charge of the idiot lights.
Yeah. Your dumb fuck lights on, turn it off, So I was driving by,
you gotta see your resume.
I was driving by Hudson Beach, and I passed Chuck's house, and he was outside with his hood up on his minivan, and he had jumper cables, and he was like flipping his hair, slamming his hands around like he always does when he's mad.
And the idiot light was on?
So I come around because I took that route knowing he lived there.
He has brilliant locks.
But yeah, he does have beautiful hair. But I pulled around that area to be able to make the U-turn. Plus, it's beautiful. There's the marina and the oceans right there. And that was my test drive route, and it just so happened to be where Chuck lived. And his house is on the main drag. So as I'm pulling around, I see Chuck with the hood up, flipping his hair, all pissed off, with jumper cables in his hands. So I pull up in like a customer's, like 2016 Camaro or 2014 Camaro, whatever it was, like a $60,000 like nice like sports car. And I pull up in front of him in his house, and I hop out, and I've got my stupid uniform on, and I'm like, Chuck, are you all right? You need help? You need to jump? And he's like, yeah, man, I need to jump. So I hook up the jumper cables to the Camaro, and he's like, hold on. And he puts his mouth around that breathalyzer thing because he couldn't start his car without it. So he couldn't even turn the keys until he fucking blew into it.
Did he pass?
No, he's like, kind of like this, like
the drum tray.
He's like, and I'm like, so then he cranks it, and the thing's like,
I'm surprised it turned over.
It didn't.
I even allowed him to.
Dude, he got like 5 cranks. It's like, whoa, click, 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 click. And he's like, God damn it, dang it. Sorry, pardon my French. And I'm like, all right, man, let's just
gotta blow into the
give it a sec. Yeah. So he sits back down, and he's like, I'm like, are you ready? Turn the key. And I'm revving the engine on the sports car. I was like, whoa, 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 And he's like, all right. I'm like, do it. And he's like, a little green light comes on, and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Click, 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 click. Dude, it took like 15 tries and like 30 minutes.
Hyperventilated.
Yeah, he was dying, dude. And he was pissed off. So he's flipping his hair around. He's slamming his fist on the dashboard, dude. He's like, hold on a second. Ding, ding, ding. And finally it started. And I'm sweating, dude. It's so hot. I'm sweating. And I'm like, finally. I'm so late, dude. I'm writing down 5-minute intervals of what this car is doing. And I'm like, it's trying to start, man. I don't know. So I come back to the car dealership with a report on the vehicle I was test driving, and I'm like, I started it 19 times. Anyway, he's never come back to the show, dude. I don't know if it's my fault, but whatever. I love you, Chuck. If you're listening, I'm sure you know.
It almost sounds like a medicine man story there. They used to really do a lot to that guy too.
I gave him my sunglasses once at the Cody, the Pasco Chasco Fiasco. You know what I'm talking about? The Cody River Bike Fest.
Oh yeah.
I bump
That's
into
actually
medicine.
pretty fun.
It's a blast. There's nothing better than walking around Sims Park in downtown Newport Richie with a beer in your hand and bikers everywhere and live bands and midget wrestling.
Well,
and all
there
that
is
stuff,
one
dude.
thing better, but we won't go into that.
Well, yeah, that's not, But, I bump into Medicine Man, and I'm like, hey, Medicine Man, do you remember me? I saw you at this show and that show. And he's like, yeah, of course I remember you. Yeah, you're Kevin Hawley. Yeah, how could I forget you? What's up? And I'm like, dude, man, I got these scratches on my sunglasses. I can't freaking stand them. But with your hair and your spandex and your stupid shirt, you would look badass with these Elvis glasses. Let me put them on. And he puts them on, and he's like, yeah, man, these are cool. And I'm like, keep them. And he did, dude. So then I see him in front of a pizza place like 6 months later. I'm Uber Eatsing in between jobs.
Uber
right?
Eatsing.
Yeah, I had a lot of jobs. And
Uber eating. It just eats everybody's fries.
Oh, fuck yeah. So, allegedly, he comes riding his bicycle down that plaza, and I'm getting in my car with like pizza and 2 liters and stuff. And he stops, and I go, Medicine Man, what's up? And and then I was like, oh, what have I said? Here he comes. And he pulls back around, pulls up to my car, and he's like, hey, Kevin, how's it going, man? And I'm like, good, dude, what are you up to? And he's like, I'm going to the gas station, I'm like, cool. And I'm like, you like my glasses? And he's like, what? And I'm like, my glasses, you still got them? You still wear them? My sunglasses, the ones you look really good in. You still rocking my glasses? And he's like, What? Yeah. He had no idea what I was talking about, dude. I was like, son of a bitch, man. He probably recycled him with all the metal in his backyard and shit, dude. I don't know, man.
Who is this medicine man?
Dude, he's a legend, a local legend, man.
A legend of what?
He's like
idiocy.
You know what I asked him though? I was like, dude, no joke. I'm not even saying this to be funny. I legitimate verbatim asked him, "Do you know what kind of metal my glasses were made out of?" And he's like, "What? What?" And I go, "Come on, man. You know they're aluminum." Dude, he looked at me and he goes, "Aluminum." Because he can't say aluminum. Anyway, it's funny when I explain.
You gave me a pair of glasses, Kevin.
Basically, he was, I guess, God, what's the word I'm looking for?
Idiot savant.
Well, yeah, that too. But yeah, I guess a crash dummy for a local, radio disc jockey, and they used to just do all kinds of stuff to him, and give him tickets or whatever.
Shoot him with blow darts.
Yeah, I mean, just all kind. I can't even remember so many crazy things they did with him. But,
he was such a nice guy.
But when you see him, you're right. When you see him out in public, he's got that crazy frizzy hair, dude. Looks like almost like a wore out afro. Like it's been picked out to death.
Dude's like 70 years old now.
And he's like 70 years old.
Still riding a bike.
He still rides a bike. He can't get anywhere, but you see him.
But he's everywhere.
Man. You see him at all these events, and you can't believe it. You're out here telling me he lives way out here. I saw him at the Gallagher show when we went down to Ferg's.
St. Pete.
Yeah, down St. Pete. Ferg's, the one downtown St. Pete, in Central. Basically, we were there because the Gallagher show was there. Our friend Artie Fletcher's a local comedian, and of course, he and Artie teamed up for a couple, 2-3 years now. They've been touring, but they played down there. What was it? December? I think it was the beginning of December. And we're all, hey, what's up? We're all taking pictures and doing interviews with some of the people, and then he comes walking up, and we're like, "Holy crap! Look who it is! It's a medicine man." And he's
I probably got 10 pictures of him.
I think he did his voice good there. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
how you doing? Yeah, okay, whatever.
Oh, it's the Bret Michaels band.
Take a picture. Yeah,
I love the Bret. He's got 2 beers, one in each hand. He sat behind me at Ruth Eckerd for the Bret Michaels band, and who opened for them? Was it Winger? What's the guy from Winger? The guy from Winger, man.
That's his last name.
Winger.
His first name.
Todd Winger. Yeah, sure.
No, not Todd.
Scott Winger.
No, okay.
Edward E.
Bartholomew.
Winger.
Balthazar
Winger.
Balthazar Winger.
Anyway, dude, I saw him outside in the beer garden, and I was like with my ex at the time, and I'm like, and she's awesome, by the way, and I'm like, look, it's Medicine Man again. Let's go shake his hand. We have to, and but it's also really fun. I love talking to the guy, And I'm like, hey, what's up? Whatever. So we go back into our seats because it's like seating, like an auditorium. And we sit down, and I feel someone tap my shoulder. And I look back, and directly the seats right behind me is Medicine Man and his buddy. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me, dude. So throughout the show, he's like kicking my seat, and he's like, man, it's great, man. You couldn't hear anything. So freaking loud. By the way, don't go see the Bret Michaels band. It is ungodly loud. I was so excited to see it. That was
a Stranger, right?
No, I don't think so.
No. Who was the guy from Stranger?
Bret Michaels?
No, the singer.
No,
he
that's
did
Greg
a separate.
Billings.
Greg Billings.
Billings, yeah.
Similar.
What?
Sure.
I guess.
Hair? Similar hair?
I don't know. It's
Did he wear a bandana?
30 years ago, man. I've spent a few brain cells since then.
You only need 10% of them, so that leaves 90% left to fuck up, Pat.
Yeah, well, I've already exceeded that.
Catch up.
Yeah. I'm thinking I got maybe 3% left.
Okay, well, slow down, Pat.
Slow down.
Pump the brakes, man. Oh, man. So anyway, that's a lot of fun, man. I'm telling you, Vic, the local scene is amazing. And I know you feel it, too. I can feel it just when we look at each other, with the way we've talked to each other through social media, messaging, talking on the phone, and just BSing with each other. The show tonight, being on break, getting to know each other a little bit more in person. You and I share the same feeling of concept, of theory, that it's important to support local music, not just for ourselves, because it is a win-win. When we support local artists, we are literally supporting our own cause. But at the same time, it's like we are putting something together that is making the Tampa Bay, St. Pete, the Tampa area, the Central Florida area a huge thing. I compare it to what happened in LA in the late 80s, early 90s. I compare it to what's happening in the suburbs of Chicago, and like Naperville and Schaumburg, and these people are trying really hard. They're putting their heart and soul into it, and when people like us help promote them, whether it's for our own benefit or their benefit or the benefit of the bars, or just ultimately it comes down to the benefit of the scene. And the local scene in Tampa Bay right now is on fire. And I firmly believe that, and that is probably the biggest reason that I was excited to have you on the show.
Appreciate that, Kevin.
Yeah, me as well. And thank you for saying that, because it's just something that's just killing.
Well, it's a passion for us, I mean, we love helping people out. It seems to be, what I've always done all my life. I was raised that way, and always, try to help the less fortunate or something like that. And not that none of these artists are less fortunate. It's just a lot of them have wanted to be involved.
They want guidance.
Tried to get involved. They have no direction. They don't know. They come to me a lot of times and they ask me.
That's my idea. For a boy band, a stoner boy band, no direction.
No direction?
Yeah, or a Mexican stoner boy band called Juan Direction. What? I'm just throwing that out there, man. Anybody can take that if they want to. Or for Pat, his favorite style or genre would be One Erection.
Let's not practice giving them that type of information.
Okay.
No.
Sorry, that's why that band didn't show up tonight.
That's okay. But yeah, no, it's, again, like I said, when I got started in doing all this, the network, it was just about bringing people back together like we used to have back in the day. You know what I mean? It wasn't really about the money for me. I mean, sure, I've put, like you've said, we talked about dozens and thousands of hours and thousands of dollars in this, project, and I'll probably never get it back, but it was a part of what helped me, establish myself, promote myself, realize, because, we see a ton of sheep covered wolves everywhere, they're just
it's a dog-eat-dog world,
they're telling you they're going to help you, and all they do is exploit you and take advantage of you, and so educating people and trying to put the scene together and get more people to continue to help network support, unity is what I'm all about.
Promote,
and so that's that's
get connected, right?
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
So go ahead, Pat. Yeah.
Do time.
Yeah. Oh, thank
Okay.
you, Pat, my time guy. We have a couple of minutes.
Really?
That's it.
Oh.
2 minutes. Yeah.
I don't have my 10:59.
You're wasting time, Pat. We all know.
I'm
what time
sorry.
it is.
Go ahead. I thought that said 10:59.
Listen.
Sorry, my bad.
We are going to close out the show. So, Vic, if you could, and PJ as well. I know it's PJC Photos.
Correct.
Nailed it. Woo! And how can people hook up with Vic?
Well, PJ's part of the network. The Florida Music Network is something we're developing now, because the Tampa Bay Music Network has been around for 11 years now, and people are beginning to contact me from around the state. So all they have to do is either go to our Facebook page, Tampa Bay Music Network, or Florida Music Network on Facebook. Now, like I said, drop me a letter. If you're in a band, shoot me, a link to your band. If you need some help, some questions, like I said, there's no real cost of being involved in the network, but it will work for you only if you get involved.
Now, let me ask you real quick, real fast, hot seat. Favorite local band right now in Tampa?
Well, I think this year nominated for Band of the Year again in Pinellas County would be Den of Thieves.
Okay.
Angie Campbell and the boys, Raleigh Feldman, Steve, Rob Bird.
I know Robbie Bird.
Yeah, all those members, artists have been around for a while.
Wasn't he in?
And they're consistently still doing. I gave them a Band of the Year award 6 years ago. It came up on one of my Facebook memories.
There you go.
And to this day, 6 years later, they're still rocking. They still have a great show. They still draw very heavily, and they're booked up everywhere. So they're one of my top favorite bands. I would say there's quite a few. Sobriety X, Den of Thieves. I could go on and on. There's tons of them out there. Handsome Devil, and so on and so forth. I can go on forever. There's tons of bands.
Go ahead and send me links and info, and I will put a lot of it on our show page so people can follow Vic and all of the stuff that we just talked about. Get PJ to take pictures, man. He's awesome at it. I feel like I'm on candid camera, but we do have to leave like right now. I also want to let everybody know the John LeBang Show is up next. He does his own award show as well, the BMAs, the Banger Music Awards. I will be featured on that, doing nominations for the Best American Band. Stick around for that on the IRN. Watch nitwit.tv on Thursday nights.
Who do you got to blow to get an award show around here?
Open Mic Live as well, and SpicoliTV.com Friday night. Open Mic Live Thursday night. Thank you, everybody. We're out, man. Bye-bye.
Kevin's getting tired. It's time to end the show. He really freaking blew. It's end of the Kevin Holly Show.
I'd like to thank you for listening to the Kevin Holly Show. I hope you've had as much fun as we have bringing it to you. It's really been a pleasure. And be sure and get us again next week.
Okay, bye-bye.